plans to become a nurse practitioner. Samantha is escorted by her parents. The senior members of our Going Gold band are Jordy Bayo. Jordy is the son of Eric and Diana Bayo. He is the tuba section leader. After graduation, Jordan plans to attend seminary to become a Catholic priest. He is escorted by his parents. Samuel Dorantes Jr. Samuel is the son of Samuel and Blanca Dorantes. He is the trumpet section leader and also a member of jazz band. Samuel plans to attend UT Tyler and major in mechanical engineering. He is escorted by his parents. Mako Estrada. Mako is the son of Jose and Maria Estrada. He is a tuba player. Mako is the HOSA treasurer and a member of NHS. He plans to attend Stephen F. Austin and major in biochemistry to pursue a degree in the medical field. He is escorted by his parents. Christy Garcia Vasquez. Christy is the daughter of Rogelio Garcia and Virginia Vasquez. She plays flute and tenor saxophone. Christy is also a member of jazz band, HOSA, NTHS, and student council. She plans to attend NTCC to become an EKG technician and later attend dental school. Christy is escorted by her parents. Lexi Humber. Lexi is the daughter of Randy Lowen and Megan Lowen. She is the clarinet section leader and also active in MPHS theater. Upon graduating, Lexi plans to pursue a degree in theater. She is escorted by her parents. Nia Jackson. Nia is the daughter of Jeffrey Jackson and Mary Jackson. She is the head drum major. Nia is also a member of jazz band led by Coach Sterrett and NHS. She plans to attend UNT and major in music and education to become a high school band director. Nia is escorted by her parents. Juan Pablo Juarez. Juan is the son of Jesus and Maria Juarez. He plays baritone and is the head section leader of the low brass. Juan is also a member of HOSA, NTHS, and NSHSS. He plans to become a Texas State Trooper and then a paramedic. Juan is escorted by his parents. Gavin Ryder. Gavin is the son of Nathan and Lisa Ryder. He plays the tenor saxophone and is the section leader. Gavin is a guitarist for ETYO Jazz Academy, a member of the MPHS film crew, a member of FBLA, and an Eagle Scout with Troop 6101. He plans to attend Tarleton and major in digital media studies, later attending graduate school at Texas A&M to become an editor and director. He is escorted by his parents. Nicholas Segovia. Nicholas is the son of Jose Segovia and Giovanna Segovia. He is the assistant drum major. Nicholas is also a member of NHS, UIL MAP, and science teams, Interact, and FBLA. He plans to attend Texas A&M. Velez. The senior members of Color Guard are Natalie Castillo, the daughter of Marla Mayo. She's a 4-year member of Color Guard. Natalie plans to attend a 4-year college and major in business administration. She is escorted by her uncle, Salvador Mayo. Desleen Chavez. Desleen is the daughter of Claudio Chavez and Christy Alejandro. She is a 3-year member of Color Guard. Desleen plans to attend a 4-year college and major in accounting. She is escorted by her parents. Victor Diaz. Victor is the son of Victor Diaz and Marciana Herrera. He is a 3-year Color Guard member and serves as lieutenant. Victor is also a member of UIL Academics, FBLA, and NHS. He plans to attend NTCC and then transfer to Texas A&M Commerce to eventually become a college professor. He is escorted by his parents. Kylie Hedge. Kylie is the daughter of Steve Saldivar and Rebecca Parrott Saldivar. She is a 4-year member of Color Guard and serves as squad leader. Kylie is also the vice president of FBLA, a member of NHS, Debate, and UIL Academics. She plans to attend Texas State University with hopes of becoming a neuroscientist. She is escorted by her parents. Natalie Montoya. Natalie is the daughter of Claudia Soto, a 4-year member of Color Guard and serves as squad leader. Natalie is also a 4-year member
Mount
of
Pleasant,
HOSA.
Texas.
After graduation, she plans to attend Texas A&M Commerce and earn a degree in psychology. Our mom and grandfather, Roberto Soto. Jocelyn Paulo Blanco. Jocelyn is the daughter of Jose and Sabrina Paulo Blanco. She's a 4-year member of Color Guard and serves as lieutenant. Jocelyn is also a member of FBLA, yearbook staff, athletic training, and powerlifting. She plans to attend UNT and major in photography and education of the art. She is escorted by her parents. Sashi Pudel. Sashi is the daughter of Shankar and Dima Pudel. She is a 4-year member of Color Guard and is squad leader. She is the HOSA president, student council vice president, and a member of NTHS and NHS. She plans to attend the University of Texas with hopes of becoming a physician assistant. Sashi is escorted by her parents. Myra Rocha. Myra is the daughter of Balthazar and Maria Rocha. She's a 4-year Color Guard member. Maria is also a member of the soccer team, student council, HOSA, and powerlifting. After high school, Maria plans to attend NTC's MES program. She is escorted by her parents. Patricia Roque. Patricia is the daughter of Anselmo Roque and Fenelina Martinez. She's a 4-year member of Color Guard and serves as squad leader. Patricia is involved in UIL Academics, is the NHS historian, NTHS vice president, and HOSA vice president. She plans to attend the University of Texas to become a physician assistant. Patricia is escorted by her parents. Alejandra plans to attend Texas A&M with hopes of entering medical school. She is escorted by her parents. At this time, please join me in giving me a warm round of applause to our MPHS seniors. They will be greatly missed. After the game, our seniors will be honored by walking the field from end zone to end zone one last time. Please feel free to remain in the bleachers to watch this senior tradition.
Hello and welcome everyone to Sam Parker Field in Mount Pleasant, Texas, where tonight the Pine Tree Pirates visit the Mount Pleasant Tigers here right off the campus of Mount Pleasant High School. I'm Randy Johnson. Alongside me is Brett Conway and, of course, Larry Mahan as well here with Pine Tree High School football for 2020. And a big night tonight, guys. It's senior night here at Mount Pleasant, and the Pirates get to visit another senior night. But it's huge for Pine Tree in many ways. A win tonight solidifies the second-place spot in District 9-5A in the seedings. And it should do the trick for the rest of the season, but barring next week's game nonetheless. But tonight, Brett, we expect a good game from a team that's a little wounded and down, and they're basically out of the playoff hunt is Mount Pleasant. They're 1-4 in district play, and Pine Tree comes in at 4-1.
They are, but you can never count Mount Pleasant out. They're always going to give you a good game, especially here at home, and they have the last couple of years against Pine Tree, and it's become kind of at least soccer-wise, it's become kind of a game to have, and I'm certain tonight will be the same way. And, last week, Pine Tree coming in, they started a little slow, and then they kind of got going, and about halfway through the second quarter, came in after the second half and had their meeting, did their adjustments, and had a great game after that.
Well,
so
they had
for the same tonight.
Well, they had three big explosive plays all in the second half. A long pass play of 70 yards and a run of 57 from Tyler Sheffield, and then the third big positive play, explosive play in that scenario happened midway through the fourth quarter, a 64-yard pass to Camden McIntyre, who was a pleasant surprise last week, and we went over that as well. But this team right now, Pine Tree, has a chance to really solidify their stranglehold on second place and work that way to gain a home playoff game appearance this season in early December. Of course, we're playing right after Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving week, and Coach and I went over that on the field a moment ago. We'll listen to him in just a few minutes, but talk about the district tonight. Really on 3 games playing, this one here, and then the one at Texas High is trailing Nacogdoches 17-14 in the third quarter of that game at last look. They started at 5:30 p.m. to get an early kick. That's about a 140-mile drive from Texarkana down to Nacogdoches. And then the other game tonight is White House hosting Jacksonville down at Wildcat Stadium in White House. The other game is a forfeit. Hallsville, for the third consecutive week, has forfeited a district game. This time they will forfeit to the Marshall Mavericks. So that's what we have in district play, and that's an interesting thing going on right now in Nacogdoches. I don't know what's happening with the Tigers, but Nacogdoches is playing with nothing to lose for sure.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that game turns out tonight. It's certainly interesting that in the third quarter, because generally in the second half is when Texas High makes their push and will score the majority of their points third, fourth quarter, if they haven't already scored enough that they can just put in their backup players. One thing I want to say about last week, and we had a great performance by several kids, and of course Freeman and Sheffield and Ethan Morgan. But we need to say kudos to Dallas Dixon last week because of his performance. He had 11 tackles. He had 1 tackle for a loss and 2 quarterback pressures. And he was named the ET Varsity Defensive Player of the Week last week after last week's game. So congratulations there to Dallas Dixon.
And his picture was in the one of the back pages of the Longview News Journal this morning with a good photo zoom-in shot. So if you haven't picked up the Longview News Journal today, the back of the second section, which is the zone, the Bonneville News Journal weekly capsule look at high school football. He's on the back of that section in a big, pretty much lifelike type of photo. It was a really nice pic, and a great honor for Dallas Dixon. And I know his papa listens in, and he's a Pine Tree grad of the mid-'80s, 85, I believe, and he's a proud daddy of his linebacker, Dallas Dixon, who played a great game and has really done a great job most of the season, too. He definitely could be looking at all-district type of award seasons. But we're looking at this game getting underway in just a little bit. Both teams are stretching now, but we're going to go and come back in just a moment and have our meeting with Coach. It was about 2.5 minutes on the field pregame, and we'll return in just a moment for that. You're listening to Pine Tree Pirate Football on YouTube, and we'll be back with the rest of the pregame in just a moment.
Norman. He plays receiver and is a 4-year member.
Hello and welcome, everyone, to Mount Pleasant, Texas, at Sam Parker Field. I'm Randy Johnson. I'm alongside Coach Kerry Lane right here in pregame, and we're going to have to battle over the intercom for senior night here at Mount Pleasant. But Coach Lane, it was a different type of week. You never had to schedule around a holiday before, obviously. Was it any different this week?
No, I mean, we just adjusted our time. We wanted to get them in the morning and get our practice in, let them go home to their families. And, the older kids did great like I thought they would. We had a plan, and we communicated that plan with them a week ahead of time so they understood. And our kids understand what's in front of us, and they understand the importance of practicing well. So our kids showed up, and we had a good week of practice.
Well, you're in control of your destiny as you were, and hopefully you went out this week. You're playing here tonight at Mount Pleasant. You went out tonight and go from there and see how it turns out. Have you heard anything on the Hallsville issue? What's happening with them right now? That's your opponent next week. We're really not wanting to look ahead, but haven't really heard.
I haven't either. I know they've been out the last couple of weeks with some COVID issues like a lot of people in the state, and I haven't spoke with them yet. I've been focused on Mount Pleasant, and tomorrow I'll call the AD over there and kind of see what their situation looks like. But, a couple of weeks ago when their situation happened, he told me we're going to play. We're playing on the 4th, so that's what he told me.
We'll see what happens with that. Not to really jump ahead, but pardon me if I did.
No.
Tonight's game, you're playing against a team that's really out of contention. I mean, they would have to win out and have some great things happen, but I believe that 1-4 in district, they're just the opposite from you, but they have nothing to lose. So they're going to come in with a really type of want to spoil mentality, I would think.
Oh, no doubt. We're going to get their very best shot. I've been telling the kids all week. Our kids know it. Our staff knows it. They're a very athletic team, very big up front on defense, and very good at all the skill positions. And so they're going to come out swinging. We expect them to.
Well, they had some tough luck in a couple of games. I know up here against Nacogdoches, they lost late 25-23, and they were behind real big, and they came back and took a lead and then lost it late. And so, they're used to a little adversity, and we're playing against a team that has nothing to lose and has that wounded dog kind of mentality going on, and I expect, like you say, them to give the very best. Your team, health-wise, pretty good right now?
Yeah, we're healthy. We're blessed right now. We're healthy, and everybody's on the roster is good to go.
Good to go. All right, Coach. Well, I won't take any more time. You need to get on in there. We're just a little bit before kickoff here at Sam Parker Field in Mount Pleasant. Thanks and good luck, Coach. And win or draw, come on up and see us after the game. I suspect it'll be good news.
Hope so.
Let's hope so. Thanks, Coach.
Hey,
appreciate it.
Joshua Herrera.
What
I'm Riley John Ingram with Customers Pine Tree Fan Club, and we just want to say, Go!
Welcome back. We're done with the coach's little visit down at pregame. We're back here at Sam Parker Field. Randy Johnson alongside with Brett Conway and Larry Mahan here for this broadcast tonight in District 9-5A Division II. We're about ready for the national anthem, so we'll go to the field for that here in just a moment. We're just a few minutes away from kickoff, about 5 minutes according to the clock, but both teams are on the sideline. So here comes the national anthem. We'll return in just a moment.
As we are led in prayer, followed by our national anthem. Dear Heavenly Father, please bless all those attending tonight's game, the players, the coaches, the students, and the fans. Watch over everyone and keep them safe. We pray that both teams and fans show good sportsmanship and will watch over the teams and fans as they travel home tonight. Thank you so much for your Son, Jesus Christ, and his forgiveness. We ask these things in his name. Amen. And now, under the direction of Nancy Vines, the Mount Pleasant Choir will perform our national anthem.
We're just moments away as the national anthem has been completed by the Mount Pleasant High School marching band. Down to our left-hand side here. Pretty good home crowd. It's senior night at Mount Pleasant, and we're fixing to have the coin toss here momentarily between the two schools. Pine Tree will be dressed in all white tops with their white helmets and blue pants, just like they were dressed for Marshall some 4 or 5 weeks ago where they got that big win. Mount Pleasant, on the other hand, is going to have gold tops with black numerals and black pants and their black helmets here at home. We face the east, so the field goes from north to south, and so we'll see. Here's the flip that's occurring on the field at the moment. We're, if we're not up video-wise, we're having an adjustment made on one of the cameras, so we may be down just a moment. But you have the audio here with this one, Brett. And we look forward to a good positive outcome tonight from Pine Tree on the road to do away with the one from 2 weeks ago, for example, against that Texas High team.
Well, they're certainly going to have to come out and make some changes. I'm sure they've talked about it this week, and they're ready to go. I know the kids were at the school early today to get into the swing of being at school all day and ready to go to the stadium. And looks like Pine Tree is going to receive.
We don't know who won the toss, but Pine Tree will start the first half running from north to south if you're looking on and or just holding your phone or any which way you might be listening in or watching this ball game. Pine Tree will go from north to south to start the ball game and look for the opening kick. And a big ball game tonight on tap for the Pirates. Texas High and that Texas High game tonight at Nacogdoches, they kicked off at 5:30. They have taken a lead with 7 minutes left at 21-17 over the Dragons. A little tighter tussle than they probably had been bargained for, and they didn't get off to that fast start tonight. The Tigers didn't apparently. That game was 7-7 at the half. So 21-17 fourth quarter, 7 minutes left now. I look on my phone, and there was been an interception by Texas High. So it looks like they may take this game on out after falling behind 17-14 in the third quarter to the Nacogdoches Dragons down at Dragon Stadium in Nacogdoches. So we're just a moment away from getting the kickoff, and we're just about 15 seconds away from 7:30 p.m. So we're going to kick it off straight up and on. And the crew is out of Tyler, from what I've been told. I did not get the referee, but it's a Tyler chapter officiating this ball game here in Mount Pleasant in the 6th District 9-5A Division II game. And Pine Tree at 4-1 in district play, and Mount Pleasant is 1-4. Really with nothing left to lose, so they may play all out reckless abandon tonight and try to play spoiler against the Pirates. It's just underway. For Pine Tree, deep is Keelan Turner on one side, and they're going to kick it to that side. He's going to take it at about the 14-yard line, coming to the right. has an opening. Can he get through? And he does. He's at the 40, and he's pulled down by several gold-clad Tigers at midfield. And Keelan Turner gets it to almost midfield to start the ball game on the opening kick, about a 34-yard return.
What a great return. Had he not stumbled a little forward, he would have scored on that return. Had a lot of momentum and had the blockers and just tripped up right before the 50-yard
Tripped up,
line.
and then a couple of Tigers get there to wrestle him down at the 49-yard line, their own 49, to start the initial possession of the ball game, are the Pirates. Across the front, Pine Tree has Carroll and Webb, along with a couple others. We'll get to those in a minute. Left-hand side goes DJ, rolls left, throws deep, going to go deep. Got a receiver there. He's bumped, and we're not going to get a flag. It goes incomplete. I don't know. Somebody ran into the side. It looks like a Keelan Turner on that one.
Yeah, he came up behind the defender, and actually both of them were looking for the ball, and he actually bumped into the defender
Okay.
on the way down. So they're going to give him that one.
2nd and 10 for Pine Tree here at their own 49 to start this one off with great field position. Got to get this one in down the field for some points. Let's see what they run here. One wide near side is Turner. They're going to fake the handoff. DJ keeps it. He's at the 45. He's got it straight ahead, and there he goes. He's at the 20, the 10, touchdown. Touchdown, Pine Tree. DJ Freeman, 51 yards, untouched, and it's 6-0 Pine Tree on the 51-yard run by DJ Freeman.
A little upset next door to us over here. They saw a hold somewhere in there, but referees didn't see it, and so they're going for the extra point.
Herber in with Nakima Williams holding. And Pine Tree looks to go up 7-0 on the 51-yard run. 2-play, 51-yard drive in 22 seconds for Pine Tree. Kick up by Herber, and it is good. So with 11:38 remaining, starting here in the first half, Pine Tree gets the first possession and takes it in on a 51-yard touchdown run by DJ Freeman. And the score, Pine Tree 7, Mount Pleasant nothing. You're listening to Pine Tree Pirate Football.
This facility is following COVID-19 risk mitigation guidelines as recommended by the UIL and state authorities. We ask that as a spectator you help slow the spread of COVID-19 by wearing a mask covering at all times unless consuming food or drink, maintaining at least 6 feet of distancing at all times from other groups and individuals outside your household.
So Pine Tree off, first possession. They score on a 51-yard run for DJ Freeman. He comes into the game with 561 yards rushing. It puts him over 600 for the season now. He's a 1,000-yard passer already. Last week he went over that with a 64-yard touchdown pass. But that, I believe, is his 7th rushing touchdown to go along with 14 passing, and Pine Tree has taken a 7-0 lead.
Want to come out and score early. This is the first time they've done that in quite a while. And we'll see how the defense holds coming up here. We're looking for a little pooch kick like they've been doing, and Mount Pleasant is lined up expecting the same. And we'll see if Herbert can get it high enough to let the kids with all the speed get down there before it hits.
There's a high pooch, and it's taken at the 23-yard line. He wrestles up front, and a couple there to catch him. Nakima Williams is there to meet him at the 30, and a couple other Pirates there to help assault the tackle away. So Pine Tree gets the first lead of the game on a big run, and I believe we'd have to go back quite a ways from where they had a 7-0 lead themselves. It seems like it's not, no, they trailed 7-0 there. They had a 7-0 lead against Jacksonville, but that's been the only 7-0 lead that I can recall. No, they fell behind to Marshall, obviously Texas High, and obviously the Nacogdoches. Nacogdoches scored first as well, and then never scored again. So here we go. Pine Tree's defense on the field. 1st and 10 for Mount Pleasant at their own 43. One back set, play action pass, and a whistle. And we're going to have a false start against the Tigers. False start, so they'll be at 1st and 15.
We don't want to forget our sponsors. That touchdown, by the way, was a Lawler's Jewelry touchdown. And, of course, the broadcast sponsor is Custom Signs and Ink. And also the extra point, Frank's Auto Sales. So we appreciate all the sponsors tonight. We'll be mentioning them throughout the game.
Okay, 1st and 15 now for Mount Pleasant at their own 27-yard line. Pine Tree is a 7-man front, back to pass on a play action. He's rolling right. They flush him out. He throws, and it's complete at the 35, up to the 40, the 45, and up to midfield on the catch and run for Mount Pleasant with the first down. Their first down of the ball game is number 20 on the play for Mount Pleasant, and we'll check him out. That will be
Junior Chavez.
Junior Chavez. Yeah, number 20 is Junior Chavez on the catch. He is a 6'2 senior. So right past midfield at the Pine Tree 49 is Mount Pleasant, and they pick up 22 yards on that play in the first down. They're first of the ball game. We have any natural sound, Mike, here? I don't see any natural sound. Well, Larry stepped out. We'll get with him in a moment. To the right side, picking up about 8 to 10 yards and real close to another first down. Give him 9 to the 40 is the tailback, and so it's 2nd and 1 upcoming for Mount Pleasant.
I believe that was number 3, Caleb Jones, on the carry.
6'1", 190-pound senior. Pardon me. Mount Pleasant's quarterback is Baker Peterson. He's a 6', 175 senior. And they'll rotate a lot of different wides. They lost last week 26-7 at Marshall. So 1-4 in district play. Pine Tree 4-1. It's 2nd and 1 at the 40 for the Tigers. Dive up the middle. He's going to get close to the first down. I don't know if they're going to give it to him or not. Really, really close. Depends on the spot.
A foot short.
Just a tad short. It'll be 3rd and less than a yard upcoming for the Tigers. Here at Sam Parker Field on the campus of Mount Pleasant High School. Last year, this time, actually early October, when Pine Tree visited here, was our first broadcast with Pine Tree ISD football on the network, along the YouTube network. And this is our 14th broadcast since that time, or the number 14 added on to that. Here we go, 3rd and 1 upcoming. They're going to try a sneak or not. They're going to hand it off. And we got another flag, and either Pine Tree's lined up offside or it's a false start, so we'll see.
It's a false start. They do look like uniforms, don't they?
Yeah, quite a bit. Or the Steelers, I guess it were. They're gold and black. So it's a big penalty to bring up a 3rd and a long 5 instead of a 3rd and short 1. So Pine Tree's defense, see if they can make a play and get them to punt the football or turn it over, or certainly have them try for it on down. So 3rd down and a long 5 for the Tigers at the Pine Tree 40, just inside the 45-yard line. Twins to the near side, one back set next to the quarterback, Peterson, for Mount Pleasant. Play action, throw out, looking for receiver downfield. It could be intercepted. It's Stipman. He knocks it away. Did he catch it? It's going to be incomplete. The ball hit the turf. Stipman was there along with, looks like Tyler Neal on defense for Pine Tree, and it goes incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 5 for the Tigers.
Pine Tree is bringing a few extra players with them tonight. Derek Williams is a freshman. His quarterback, been playing for the 9th grade team. And also Devontae Davis, we remember him from the Texas High game. He's back tonight. We might see him in the game. And Jadalen Jones, the junior as well.
Sounds good. 4th down and 5. They're going to line up to go for it, it would appear. They have twins to the near side of the field. Number 10 is their big receiver. 11, Zay Brown, 6'3", 200-pounder. They're going to go back to pass looking for him. He's skirting down the field. They throw, and it's going to be incomplete and knocked away. Knocked away that time by Greg Kalula. And the Pirates stopped the Tigers on downs on their first possession. Bang, bang play. The receiver turned. The ball was there, but so was number 26, Greg Kalulu, on a nice defensive play for the Pirates.
Just great timing on Kalulu's part there. Timed the ball hit him, came in with the hand and hit the receiver.
So the
great play.
The Pirates take over at their own 44. Let's call it the 45. So the Pirates take over with DJ Freeman, and next to him, they got a man in motion. They're going to give it to him. That's Keelan Turner. He's pushed outside, cuts back in, is going to make maybe a yard to get back to the line of scrimmage on that wide receiver sweep that really goes nowhere as Mount Pleasant snuffs it out. It'll be 2nd down and 10 upcoming for the Pirates. Okay. Well, the 2 flags kind of hurt Mount Pleasant. It's going to be a hold against Pine Tree, so you would think they would take it, make it 1st and 20, and set the Pirates back. And it looks like they're going to, so they'll have the ball at the 35-yard line, the first penalty of the game against the Pirates. And Mount Pleasant's had a couple of the 5-yard variety already. So we're here, 9-12 of the first quarter. Pine Tree up already 7-0 on a 51-yard touchdown run by DJ Freeman straight up the gut on the first possession of the ball game for the Pirates. Twins near side, 1 wide receiver wide, and I believe that's Tyler Sheffield next to the quarterback. Throw over the outside. It's caught at about the 40, and he's wrestled down immediately, so we'll give him forward progress. It's a 5-yard gain on the pitch and catch to Nakima Williams.
Pass complete by number 8, Nakima Williams. Number 6, Lane.
2nd down and 15 now for the Pirates at their own 40-yard line, leading 7-0 here early in the game. Randy Johnson alongside Brett Conway and Larry Mahan here with Pine Tree Football tonight. On the air, live on YouTube. One wide receiver either way, and there's 2 slot receivers lined up for DJ Freeman and the quarterback for Pine Tree. And he hands it off to number 20, Sheffield. He breaks the midfield. He's got a big gainer. He's at the 35, the 30. Comes back inside and can't fight away from one tackler down to the 23-yard line. And a huge run that time for DJ Freeman. Down to the 23. That's a 37-yard gain. 37-yard gain for, it would appear that was Tyler Sheffield, correct? Or Tyler Sheffield with a run.
I believe so.
And a 37-yard pickup down to the Mount Pleasant 23. And Pine Tree has another first down, knocking at the door again, up already 7-0. Twins to the far side of the field. One back set along with the slot, and they're going to give it to him that time. And there he goes again. He punches ahead for about 2 yards. Does Tyler Sheffield. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 upcoming for number 25, Tyler Sheffield, in the game. Nice push up front from the Pine Tree offensive line. It was mentioned earlier, Connor Carroll, along with Webb on one side, obviously. Also on the field for Pine Tree, the center is Brody Hodges. I'll try to get that last number here on the offensive front. Twins to the far side, one back set next to DJ, and a slot is Stump. And back next to him is Sheffield. Snap back, he throws, he's got a receiver open, throws it high, and it's caught inside the 10, down to the 6, down to the 5. Keelan Turner on the slant. And it's a pitch and catch and good down for about a 17-yard gain on the play.
Great concentration. Tight coverage that time by Mount Pleasant. But Keelan Turner keeping his eyes on the ball. We've seen a lot in the last few games, looking for the goal line ahead of the catch, but this time he stays with it, makes a great catch, with great coverage.
About a 16-yard gain on the slant on the pitch and catch, and it's 1st and goal at the 6-yard line for Pine Tree, knocking on the door again on their second possession here at Mount Pleasant, looking to take it to the Tigers tonight. Pretty crisp execution thus far for the Pirates. Hand off the Stump. He cuts back inside. He's got the 3, the 2. He's plowing ahead. Is he going to try to get in the end zone? He's not going to quite make it. They're going to mark him down just outside the 2-yard line after about a 4-yard push for Jaden Smith. They call him Stump, 5'5", 195-pounder. And so it'll be 2nd and goal from the 4 for the Pirates. First time to be inside the 20 or the red zone, so they're they scored on their initial possession on a 51-yard run. This the more methodical way, coming up to the 6th play of the drive, the 7th play of the drive upcoming now, which started back at the 45-yard line, at their own 45. He rolls right, he's going to take it himself, quarterback run, he can't get around, he does. He's to the 1, he's getting real close and didn't quite make it. Going to be marked out at the 1-yard line on the design quarterback keeper to the right. So it'll be 3rd and goal right at the 1-yard line for Pine Tree.
Getting awful close to the paved part of the field there, it looks like. I don't believe that's a turf, and it may be turf, and it is, it's turf. It looks like part of their track where they might have a pole vault or a long jump for track, but it isn't, it is turf.
Just inside the 1-yard line on 3rd and goal. We'll see if he gives it to Sheffield or keeps it himself. And now we're going to have a flag. It looks like Pine Tree might have moved earlier. And they did. It's a false start. The Mount Pleasant sideline is erupting and wanting the flag, and they got it. So that may change the dynamic of the 3rd down and, goal upcoming. Obviously, it does. Moves it from inside the 1 to just outside the 5. And 3rd down upcoming. Still possibly 4-down territory to get a touchdown. We'll see what happens on this play with just over 5 yards to get it in the end zone.
It'll give a little bit more room. They want to run a pass coming across the center.
To operate, true that, or even a roll out and try to run it in for DJ again. They hand it off fake. There's a throw outside. It's caught. It's thrown in the air, and it's intercepted by Mount Pleasant on a deflection. That's what you don't want to have. So really the penalty kind of killed the drive, essentially. and made a play call different, and you just can't have those when you're leading into the playoffs a couple weeks away. But Pine Tree's defense will have to come back and play on a deflected interception, the second interception against DJ this season. Really wasn't all his fault. He threw into coverage, though, and Mount Pleasant takes over with a big interception.
That is a tough break. Hit him in the left shoulder pad and went straight up, and they had another defender nearby, and he was on the ball, looked up, found the ball, and came down with it.
So 1st and 10 for Mount Pleasant at their own, looks like 11-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. They're on for their second possession of the game. They trail 7-0. Hand off to the outside. There's a flag thrown on it. We're going to have a hold right off the bat against Mount Pleasant, or a block below the waist. Umpire throws a flag right beside the offensive line. It lays at the 10-yard line. So
out of bounds at the 15-yard line. There is a flag on the play.
let's see what they call it. It's most likely an offensive block below the waist or a hold. Should back them up. Tyler Chapter, from what I understand, I do not have the crew's identities, but that's who we'll go with here on hand. And still haven't made the call. They're still discussing it. Let's get the game going, gentlemen. Here we go.
Start calling it both ways.
Personal foul, block below the waist. So that's half a distance to the goal. It's going to mark it down to the 5. So it'll be first down, and it looks like 16 on the block below the waist as they start from their own 5-yard line. Do the Tigers here. The Tigers in gold tops with black pants and black hats. Pine Trees in white tops with blue bottoms. And their white hats this week on the road. The look they carried against Marshall a few weeks back. Roll out to the right side. They're going to bog that one up and tries to cut back in and does, but only picks up about 2 yards on the play. And so that'll make it 2nd down and 14 upcoming for the Tigers.
Of course, in the tackle, number 14, Dalen Evans, freshman lineman.
He's in the game. 31 is in the game. That's Turner. Ahmad Washington, probably 33 in the game, too. That's Turner. And it looks like on the far side there's Joe number 11, Fisher, on the defensive front. They have a nice shift this time. 2nd down and 14. Man in motion from Mount Pleasant. They roll near side, try to throw the pass, and he does over the middle. He's going to overthrow the intended receiver off his hands and incomplete, and it'll bring up a 3rd long and upcoming for Mount Pleasant. And this is their second possession of the ball game.
Jeremiah Blinks defending on the play. Managed to actually cause a little problem with the timing on that play. Held him up quite well at the line.
3rd down, call it 13 from the 8-yard line for Mount Pleasant. Pine Tree in defense doing a great job to start this one out. Quarterback is Peterson. He's going to go back into the end zone to throw it over the middle, and overthrow it on an attempted inside screen. So it'll be 4th down upcoming, and nice pressure. But the receiver was there. He just overthrew it his outstretched arms to his running back, or they were going to try to run an inside screen. So it'll be 4th and long and upcoming, and Mount Pleasant will have to punt from their own end zone.
Just great coverage on the receivers by Pine Tree that time to force that short pass. And I don't even think the running back was expecting to have it. I think they had a long pass all the way.
I think it just stunned him how fast it came out of the quarterback's hands. It appeared to be a screen all the way, but the receiver was not ready to handle the heat that came at him. Here we go. Punting from their own goal line. It's a nice snap. He gets it off. And they bounce into him, and no flag. It's caught right at the 49-yard line by Keelan Turner on the fair catch. No flag, no harm, as they kind of bounced into the punter, but no flag, no harm done. So Pine Tree takes over after the stop on downs at their own 49-yard line where they started their first possession, leading 7-0 with 3:39 remaining in the first quarter here in Mount Pleasant. And the 9th game of the season for the Pirates. They come in at 6-1-1 overall, 4-1 in district play, one of their best seasons in many, many years. If they win tonight, it'll be the first time that Pine Tree has won seven ball games in a season since the 1983 season, where they finished 7-2-2. Made the playoffs that year. They had a running back named Flournoy who was really good back in those days. Delbert. Here's a pass over there. It's caught by Nakima at the 43, wrestles forward to the 40, and picks up the first down, or he should have. And a pickup of 11 yards. They got it in the first down. Williams with his first catch of the ball game.
Good concentration again by Williams to get the ball and hold on to it tightly before he makes the turn. And the defense has been playing extremely well.
Yeah, they have so far tonight. So is the offensive line. Just got to not have those untimely turnovers, and only about the 5th turnover all year against Pine Tree happened on the deflection earlier. Only the 2nd interception against DJ. There's a handoff. No, he keeps it himself and pulls it away, and he's going to be wrestled free and down for about a 2-yard loss. They were all over the top of the running back, Sheffield. A couple of Tigers were. He pulled the ball away to DJ and tried to get positive yardage out, but it's a loss of 2 on the play.
Well, it would have been a loss of about 5, so he managed to pick up a few yards there to save that.
He very thoughtfully decided to keep the ball instead of hand it off, because it was going to be a much bigger loss, and he spun away for a couple yards, but he still lost 2. It's 2nd and 12 for Pine Tree at the Mount Pleasant 42-yard line in a 7-0 lead. Clock rolls at 2:30 of the first quarter. There's a handoff. Tyler Sheffield's got a first down and more. He's at the 30. He's at the 25 and wrestled down at about the 22-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 24-yard line, but it's a nice run of 16 yards for Tyler on that play. Sheffield.
It's a great run. He has such great moves. He looked like he's going to be tackled, and all of a sudden he'll make a shift. Even the defense thinks they've got a hand on him, and he'll make a very quick move on his feet, left or right, and once again picks up another first down.
1st and 10, Pine Tree at the Mount Pleasant 24-yard line. Clock now under 2 minutes of the first quarter in a 7-0 Pine Tree lead here in Mount Pleasant. Back to pass. They're going to throw a fade. He's got a receiver wide open and overthrows him. He was wide open, had the defensive back beat by several yards, and he just threw it out of the end zone to DJ, so it'll bring up 2nd down. .24-yard line, 2nd down and 10 upcoming for Pine Tree. In a 7-0 lead here late in the first quarter, 1:52 remains. In the first quarter here in Mount Pleasant on senior night for the Tigers. They lost last week at Marshall 26-7 while Pine Tree was salting away White House at home 27-14. One wide receiver far out, the Twins in the slot, and a handoff this time. Oh, he's hit hard, but he gets away just briefly for a second, and is tackled after no gain for Tyler Sheffield. 3rd and 11 upcoming for Pine Tree. With a positive play down the field through the Pirates.
See Mount Pleasant try to strip the ball, but he holds the ball so well, it's going to be very, very difficult. And they did that time. They just managed to trip him up at the same time.
3rd down 11 upcoming for the Pirates, trying to get the play in, and they do. Plenty of time on the play clock, down under 10 seconds. Game clock at 1:16 and counting. Twins to the far side of the field. One receiver to the right is Nakima Williams. And Sheffield is next to quarterback as he rolls left. Sets up the pass, throws it deep. He's got a receiver in the end zone. He's going to overthrow him and throw it out of the back of the end zone. So they go for the end zone on 2 of the 3 plays. It's a head scratcher for sure. And so it's 4th down and 10. Let's go and kick a field goal here and give the lefter a try, which it looks like it'll be about a 41-yarder upcoming. Depends on where they spot it. But it's come from the right hash, the near side hash, as Pine Tree moves from north to south. Here it's going to be a 42-yard attempt for the lefty. With a hole from Nakima Williams and Brant Herbert's own, trying to make it 10-0. Snap is good. It's down. The kick is up. It looks to be good. And it is just inside the far upright. It's a 42-yard field goal for Brant Herbert, and Pine Tree goes up 10-0 with 58.7 seconds left in the first quarter. A 42-yard field goal and the new score. Pine Tree 10, Mount Pleasant nothing. This is Pine Tree football. We'll return in one moment with more here from Pine Tree football. And we're back here at Sam Parker Field on the campus of Mount Pleasant High School in Mount Pleasant. The Pirates have gone up 10-0 with a 42-yard field goal. And, of course, that field goal is brought to you by M6 Drone Services. M6 Drone Services is owned and operated by our own Larry Mahan, and a great company to sponsor the field goal try and to make a 42-yard field goal for the lefty Brant Herbert. There's a high pooch kick near side of the field. It's going to be fielded at the 25. No fair catch given. He runs to the right. Got a little room, trying to make a little wiggle, but he's going to be caught behind by Luke Branson and a couple other Pirates at the 30. So that's where Mount Pleasant will take over now in a 10-0 ball game with 51.8 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Pine Tree has scored on a 51-yard run and a 42-yard field goal to make it 10-0 here towards the end of the first quarter against Mount Pleasant.
I think that was field goal number 2.
Okay. Kick one at Marshall. And I know they went up there 10-7 when he kicked that one. Second quarter kick. So here we go. Pine Tree lines it with 5 inside. We're going to have a flag. It's going to be a false start against the Tigers. It'll be their third of the ball game already.
Yeah, I think everybody started except the center.
The center and one or two of the other linemen, they had the cadence down, but their own quarterback, it's confusing them, I guess, but I don't know. It's 1st and 15 now. And those are the kind of things that set you behind the chains. And when you're already, 3-5 overall in the year and 1-4, playing for pride basically, you've got to be a little sharper on your focus. And those are the kind of things that set you back and make for easier three and outs for the defense. One wide receiver near side of the field, tight end bunch formation. They're going to roll right, and he's going to be tackled by several Pirates and run out of bounds at the 22 for about a 3-yard loss. Tyrese Jones is there, Joseph Fisher's there, Dallas Dixon, all pushing him out to the near side of the field, and a loss of a couple of more. So it'll be second down. Let's call it 18 from the 22-yard line, 23-yard line for the Tigers. They really haven't done much yet offensively. I know they have just 1 or 2 first downs, but that's about it. Here's the first quarter's down to 45 seconds as they go from right to left, from south to north here at the home field. Their home field, that is. Back to pass. Got a receiver coming down the field. Is going to overthrow him on a straight fly pattern. He gets by, and then the secondary defender, Kalulu, the safety, picks him up, but it's overthrown. It'll be third down and long upcoming for the Tigers.
Interesting blocking on the part of Mount Pleasant there. All their line was laying down at the end, trying to work a little bit of magic with their pass coverage.
41 seconds remain in the first quarter. Pine Tree 10, Mount Pleasant nothing. Here live from Sam Parker Field on the campus of Mount Pleasant High School in Mount Pleasant, Texas. Exactly 54 miles from my home to here. That was my odometer. I check. I'm just kind of strange. I check those things everywhere I go. Just me. Here we go. Twins on the near side in a bunch formation for Mount Pleasant. They hand it off, play action. He got a roll to his right. He's going to be sacked down and brought down to the 21-yard line on the far side of the field, making the sack. It looks like Sam Williams maybe. I can't tell. He won't turn around for me. It may be. It's number 11, JoJo Fisher, actually, with a sack and a 2-yard loss, and it'll be fourth down and about 20 coming up for the Tigers, and that's a sack for JoJo Fisher, number 11. Junior defensive end, 6 foot, 185. Pine Tree's got basically more of a senior-laden team, but there are those pockets of 3 or 4 defenders and offensive linemen that are definitely underclassmen. And that'll be the end of the first quarter before Mount Pleasant can punt. And that's where we stand now. Pine Tree 10, Mount Pleasant nothing. End of 1. You're listening to Pine Tree Pirate Football. We'll return in just a moment. Back to play to start this second quarter. Mount Pleasant will punt on the first play of the possession on a 4th and 20. So now they'll punt from left to right or north to south. Good snap. Kick is high down the field. Turner gets away from it. Now we'll field it on the hop and then slide right down as he's hit by several gold-clad Tigers at the 29-yard line. And that's where Pine Tree will take over on that one. After a 38-yard punt from Mount Pleasant, Pine Tree takes over at their own 29-yard line, leading by a score of 10-0 with a 51-yard touchdown run from DJ Freeman and a 42-yard field goal off the left foot of Brant Herbert to show the scoring thus far in the ballgame. 10-0 Pirates up. Here they're going to run from right to left or south to north on your dial, or wherever you may be viewing the game, if you're somewhere across the planet, or even right here in East Texas. 10-0 Pirates lead. Going to run a screen outside, and it's going to go incomplete. He should fall on it. That is a forward pass. They're going to call it incomplete. It was still a forward pass right in front of the receiver who cannot make the catch. And it'll be 2nd and 10 upcoming for the Pirates.
You know, back on that punt, it was a great decision by Keelan to actually field that ball. He saw the bounce, and it would have taken another 10-yard pass back. So he actually saved a lot of yardage by moving up and going ahead and taking that ball and taking the hit.
2nd and 10 from the 29-yard line for Pine Tree. Clock stop at 11:47 of the second quarter, and a 10-0 Pirate lead here from Mount Pleasant. Twins on the near side. One receiver in the slot is Stump or Jaden Smith in the one-back set. And back to pass. Throwing outside. It's going to be caught. Deflected into the hands of number 8, Nakima Williams. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. And he's going to score. 71-yard touchdown deflection reception by Nakima Williams. And it looks like they almost drew it up like that.
Well, great concentration on his part. The same thing that we saw happen down in the end zone a while ago. The ball was a little bit lower, but paying attention to the ball, going to the ball, and then outrunning the coverage.
The twin receivers out to the near side of the field. The ball was thrown towards number 6, actually. Keelan Turner. It deflected off his fingertips. And Nakima Williams, about 4 yards beside him and off closer to the sideline, alertly caught it at about the 35 and then just outraced several Mount Pleasant Tigers the rest of the way for the distance and the score. And here's the extra point. He's holding this one for Herbert, and it is good. With 11:36 remaining in the second quarter, the new score is Pine Tree 17, Mount Pleasant nothing. This is Pine Tree football. Touchdown is brought to you by Lawler's Jewelry on their second touchdown of the game. Of course, it's the second quarter, and Jones Family Trust Rental Properties is over the second quarter. As you see that on our screen, we'll flash the quarter sponsors, but it's Jones Family Trust Rental Properties. First quarter, of course, was Village Cleaners. It went by really fast. So Pine Tree's about to kick off, and they're going to pooch it high over, and they're going to kick it right out of bounds. And it really didn't fool a lot of people, and they're going to take over there. They're going to mark it at the 35. They went out of bounds at about the 45. But they should get the ball at the 35-yard line and not the 45-yard line.
The Pirates come in and bunch together, but they're leaving one player over on the sideline to run down the sideline while Mount Pleasant is looking for an onside kick. And they pull all their players in, trying to push the ball and get it to the Pine Tree player who's running and catching in stride and take it on.
Okay, I don't understand the mark here at all. It's an onside kick. They get it right where the this just makes no sense. Well, doesn't matter. The head coach on the far sideline is not complaining about the mark, but they get the ball midfield to start the possession. Okay, not the 35. There's a run inside, a nice run, a big 10-yard gain, or close to it for the running back. Number 14 on the carry for Mount Pleasant. That is Ed Wilder. He's a 6 foot, 180-pound junior, and he picks up 10 yards and the first down, the second first down of the game for Mount Pleasant in a 17-0 game with 11:20 and counting in the first half. Second quarter. And there we go, up the middle. It's going to pick up another 8 to 10 yards on the run, about 8 it looks like. to Wilder again. It appears to be number 14, and it is. He gets 8 on that one. It'll be 2nd and 2. So his 2 strong carries for 18 yards does Ed Wilder, the junior running back. Twins on their side of the field for Peterson, the quarterback. One back set, and they bunch in a tight end as well. They hand it to Wilder again. He's dashing up the middle. He gets another big chunk of yards. About 11 on the carry and another first down from Mount Pleasant. And he's just like a hot knife through butter right now against the Pine Tree defense. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20, so they're right inside the red zone at the 20-yard line for Mount Pleasant. Trying to get on the board for the first time tonight, trailing 17-0 here with 10:30 and counting of the second quarter. Up the middle, he's going to be hit this time. He gets away, but he's run out of bounds after about a 3-yard gain. Brycelyn Phillips met him head up and couldn't grab a hold of him, and he ran away from the big guy and picked up a short gain as he ran near the near sideline.
Pirates looked to be looking for the pass on the first 2 plays. That time they had the run figured out, forced him outside.
2nd down and 7, a pickup of 3 for Wilder. He's there in the slot next to the quarterback. Man in motion for Mount Pleasant. Gets back into the motion, and they're going to run the flip outside. He cuts back in and picks up a nice gain of about 3 or 4 more. They're going to mark him down right at the 15, so it'll be 3rd and 5 upcoming for the Tigers. Moving down the field on their best possession of the ball game. Started right at midfield, and this will be the 5th play upcoming on it. 3rd down and 5 for the Tigers. Clock running under 10 minutes now in the second quarter. 17-0 Pine Tree leads. Rolling near side is Peterson. He's going to be sacked now, and he throws the ball away. He's outside of the tackles. No receiver in the area, but no flag. And there's Dallas Dixon is there along with number 33, Turner. It'll be going as an incomplete pass, I think, or they're going to throw a flag for grounding. I don't know. I don't see a flag.
He's got a flag in his hand.
He just dropped it. He was outside the tackles, but he didn't throw it past the line of scrimmage, number 1, and there was no receiver in the area, number 2. So this is going to be a loss of down and a penalty for grounding by the quarterback, as he was in the clutches of a couple of Pine Tree players. And he probably should have thrown it away before they arrived, but he could not as they got there pretty fast. So it'll be 4th down and call it about 13 upcoming. 4th down and 14 now from the 23-yard line. And they'll be going for it as field goals do them no good whatsoever. So a big play upcoming for Pine Tree's defense again. They turned back White House last week 4 or 5 times on downs in the game, as you'll recall. And this will be the 3rd time they're going to try to do it to Mount Pleasant. Back to pass. He's going to get it away and throws deep, and this pass is going to go out of bounds. Actually, it's intercepted in the end zone and down by Greg Kaluli. He picks it off, and the pass was errant, and the wide receiver could not get to it. Number 1 is the intended receiver that time, Miller McCrumbie, 6'4" junior wideout. Couldn't get to the ball, and Pine Tree with an interception. They'll take over at their own 20-yard line after the interception in the end zone by Kaluli.
He had actually run out of bounds and come back in before the pass made it to him. And,
well, in his defense, the corner might have run him that way. Didn't force him out, but ran him out of ground way off of the sideline. So Pine Tree will take over their own 20, leading 17-0 here with 9:36 remaining in the second quarter. And DJ has looked pretty good tonight, and so is the whole offense for that matter. Delay handoff, he's got it. The little guy gets away. He's at the 30. He's got another few yards. Oh, and he's tripped. Tackled by a shoestring tackle at the 43-yard line. Number 8 got to his feet, Zane Phillips, or he might have gone all the way down the near sideline for an 80-yard run. Nonetheless, it's 24 yards for Tyler Sheffield, and he came into the game at about 550 on the season, so that he's definitely getting close to the 600-yard mark on the season. Probably just eclipsed it with that run, a 24-yarder. So it's 1st and 10 for Pine Tree at their own 44-yard line, leading 17-0. Back to pass, DJ throws, got a receiver, and it's dropped by Nakima. He can make the easy plays hard and the hard plays easy, or so apparently in this game. He's had several times this year where actually that's number 6, though, isn't it? That's Keelan Turner.
It is Keelan.
But the ball hit off his paws, and he's the leading receiver on the season, clearly, for Pine Tree. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 44. But I was alluding to Nakima. He's dropped some easy passes this year and made that great reception on the deflection a moment ago, which was not an easy one. So they have to have great reflexes. Here we go. Receivers to each side. One man in the slot is stumped. They're going to roll that time, and they're going to run that way with a sweep to Keelan Turner. Can he get outside? Yes, for a couple yards, and that's about it. Maybe 2. He's swarm tackled by several Mount Pleasant players, so it's going to be only a yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 9 upcoming for the Pirates.
Looks like they're going to mark it about a yard back, and nope, they are. They're back on the 45.
So it's a yard gain, be 3rd and 9 upcoming for the Pirates. Leading 17-0. It's been all Pine Tree since the get-go. First possession of the game, and they haven't looked back, really. They've got a penalty against Pine Tree. It's a 10-yarder. So we'll save the down, and they're going to move it back to this hash on this side. Never saw a flag. Whitehead never made a call to this direction, so we can just assume it was probably a hold on Pine Tree. It'll be he lost the down 2. How does that happen? It should be 1st and 20 instead of 2nd and 20. It was already 2nd down, my bad. 2nd and 20 from the 34. So it was a hold on the play, evidently, or 10-yard variety penalty for Pine Tree. 2nd down and 20, and he hands it off to Sheffield. Burrowing ahead, picks up about 5 or 6 yards right back. So it'll be 3rd down and call it 15 upcoming for the Pirates.
It's a great run. You know, he's really, really hard to stop once he gets his feet going. And you'll see him gang tackling. And we've seen that in just about every game. He'll just take 4 or 5 people with him along the way.
3rd down and 14, they're calling it from the 39. Got to get to the Mount Pleasant 46-yard line for the first. So we'll see what DJ and the Pirates can cook up here. Leading already 17-0. Have only had one possession where they didn't score. And had an interception on that one, but they've dominated pretty much all the way. Rolling left, near side. DJ throws back right, and there's nobody there. He does throw back, and there's got to be interference.
There it is.
He's tackling the receiver who can't get back to the ball, and that's going to be an automatic 1st down, too. He grabbed the receiver who tried to play for the ball, and that was Keelan Turner, and the defensive back clearly was holding before the ball got there. So it ought to be an automatic 1st down on the play and bring it to near midfield after they mark it off.
It looked like a last-minute decision to hold on to him, because if he would have just left his hands up,
well,
it was a good 4 yards off from the ball.
Well, Keelan was making a beeline for the ball as he saw it in the last second. You're right, he might not have gotten to it, but that just solidified the fact that he couldn't get to it as he was held clearly. And it is a 1st down on the 15-yard mark off to the 46-yard line, automatic 1st down for the Pirates. And this drive keeps going with that big penalty. And sometimes that's what happens when it was good. It was a wheel route, and he's running it back to the far side of the field, and the pass was high and away from Turner, but the defensive back just grabbed him before he could even turn around to get to the ball good. Wides each way, handoff up the middle to Sheffield, and he slices and dices for about 5 yards up the middle and bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Pirates.
How many yards do we have on Sheffield so far?
Sheffield got him up to about 70 yards in the game for about 10 carries. He's had a couple of big explosive runs, of one of 29 and one of 15. He's right around the 70-yard mark for the game. Both the quarterback, who also had a long run of 51, as you recall, they both are getting Pine Tree in the running game as they're dominating on the ground, with a better than 120 right now on the ground in the ball game. There comes a wingback reverse. Now they hand it off the middle. They fake it to Keelan and then give it up the middle to Sheffield. He actually loses 2 yards. So it'll be 3rd down and 7 upcoming for the Pirates at the Mount Pleasant 43-yard line.
Certainly no meaning to jinx him on that run, but we'll see what comes up next. 3rd down.
He has no idea we're up here talking about. So I think you're all right.
You never know.
No big fooling there. Somebody across the way may be listening to us. They can wave, and we'll wave back. Here we go, 3rd and 7 from the 43 for the Pirates, up 17-0. Second quarter, now under 7 minutes left to play before intermission here in Mount Pleasant. Twins to the far side of the field for the Pirates. Smith in the slot. They're going to roll out and run back inside a design run for DJ. Kicks through hard. He's going to get close to the first down. It's going to be a little bit short, about a half a yard. But they're in 4-down territory. It'll be 4th and about a half a yard to go for Pine Tree on the design quarterback draw for the Pirates.
It's interesting to see him go up the middle that time. Normally he'll go out to the left side. We haven't seen him go to the right, but just a few times.
He expressly waited for the running back to get in front of him as a lead blocker, as he did a little kick left and cut back right and went behind the block. So 4th and 1 here for the Pirates at the 37-yard line, leading 17-0. Their second time to go for it on 4th down in the ball game. They failed on the first time. The quarterback run left. He's going to be bottled up and brought down. He can't get away, and they're not going to get it for the second time tonight. They've been held on downs, and Mount Pleasant will get the ball back with a big stop with 6:03 remaining in the first half, trailing, or the Tigers trail the Pirates 17-0, but they get a big stop.
Turn it back to the defense, let them give the offense a little bit of a rest, and start back up on the next set of downs. We also want to remember our other sponsors for the game, our broadcast sponsor, Custom Signs and Ink. You bring it, they'll brand it. And, of course, Lauder's Jewelry, Welch Funeral Home, Double H Crawfish and Shrimp, Village Cleaners, the Jones Family Trust and Rental we've talked about, Titan Well Services we've talked about, Longview Orthopedic Clinic Association, and M6 Drone Services, and, of course, Frank's Auto Sales. And we appreciate all of the sponsors.
Back to pass. Back to pass. They roll out wide, and the pass is incomplete, and Peterson takes a big hit after he throws the football by Ahmad Washington and a couple of others. They try to run it out wide and get a pass, get man-on-man coverage, but it goes incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 as pressure was there pretty quickly on top of the quarterback Peterson. Ball at the 40-yard line, 2nd and 10 at their own 40 are the Tigers, trailing 17-0 here at home on their senior night, and the Pirates up 17-0. There's a run near side of the field, and he's hit by several Pirates and Dallas Dixon and a few others, along with Tyrese Jones initially to wrap him up with Kalulu, and it looks like we've got to hold both the Livingstons there on the tackle, and, of course, Dallas Dixon as well. It'll be 3rd down and 6 upcoming for the Tigers at their own 44-yard line. Clock running. Go ahead.
Just good to see the defense right out of the box tonight in the first quarter, and, of course, the offense as well, and both playing great on both sides of the ball.
Man in motion to their side. Twins to the far side for quarterback. He fakes a handoff. He's going to be hit, and he's going to be brought down by an avalanche of Pirates. Thereafter, he's initially run over by one. There's 2 or 3 others. There's a flag on the far side of the field. So we'll see what that's all about. But it's behind the offense, so who knows? It'll be a 4th and long upcoming if it's not against Pine Tree. Pine Tree's refusing the flag, so it's against Mount Pleasant, as the referee on the far side of the field motions in a false start that's going to be declined. So at the 38-yard line, it'll be 4th and 12 now for Mount Pleasant. They'll be forced to punt again on the evening as the Pirates defense, led by Rashad Livingston and Ahmad Washington and a couple others, Dallas Dixon, Sam Williams and company, wrap him up and throw him down for about a 5-yard loss on the pass play. So punt team again for Mount Pleasant. They can't get anything going to sustain a drive to get points. And Pine Tree will get it back again here in the latter part of the second quarter. Already leading 17-0 here on the road in a big district ball game to try to salt away that second place mantle for the season. There's a high, deep punt. It's well kicked. And it bounces in front of a Pine Tree returner. That would be, of course, Keelan Turner, and dies at the 18-yard line. So that is a 33-yard kick and no return, and Pine Tree takes over at the 18 with 4:52 remaining in the second quarter, leading 17-0 in this one.
Kind of see how Mount Pleasant will work out over the next couple of seasons. This year they're a pretty heavily laden team as far as juniors go. They're playing 23 juniors, only 14 seniors, and no freshmen and 6 sophomores. So they look to be building for the future.
Twins to the far side for DJ. One back set next to him. He's going to play action. He's going to go through it, throw it deep. He's got a man wide open. Can he catch it? And he does. Look at the home run. Pitch and catch for the Pirates. 82-yard. He had him wide open near midfield. Keelan Turner hoisted in and races untouched for 6. And it's going to stand as there are no flags on the play. That's an 82-yard touchdown pass. DJ Freeman to Keelan Turner, and Pine Tree goes up 23-0.
And that was just all Keelan Turner on that one, taking off and just outrunning the coverage from the outset.
That's 3 huge plays in this one. A 51-yard run, and then a 71-yard TD pass. And now this one's 82-yard TD pass. And the Pirates are now up 24-0 with 4:42 as Brant Herbert boots the PAT. And our new score, 4:42 in the second quarter, is Pine Tree 24, Mount Pleasant nothing. You're listening to Pine Tree Football. Touchdown, of course, brought to you by Lawler's Jewelry here over in Longview and Judson Road, and that was just a magnificent pitch and catch. DJ threw it up at about 45 to 50 yards in the air, where only number 6 could race underneath it, and he caught it in stride with no one near him as he outran the defense and the touchdown. There's a high pooch kick, far side, fair catch called for and made, or he drops it. Does he get back on it? I think he does at the 32-yard line. But that's an 82-yard drive on one play, and that is the third just big explosive play in the half for Pine Tree. Telling you what, that's a one-play 82-yard drive, so pass plays of 71 and 82 for DJ to go along with his 51-yard run. And say when he's on, then the Pirates are on offensively, and their defense has helped in a big way so far tonight too, Brett.
I believe they're at 200 and some change on the yardage right now, maybe 210.
Ballpark, that'd be about right. Man in motion for Mount Pleasant. They're going to run this way too on the delay handoff. Pick up about 3 yards up to the 35-yard line. Let's give him 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Clock runs will be under 4:20 or so, or 4:15 before it's snapped here in the second quarter. And it's a big old goose egg for the home guys. Pine Tree's up 24-0, making it look really easy tonight so far in just about every facet of the ball game. They got a wide receiver wide to each side, a man in a slot, one back set next to the quarterback Peterson. Here's a blitz, and they get to him. The ball's batted in the air and will fall harmlessly incomplete as he is hit and he is down. Courtney Stitman on the blitz right at the last second nails him. I believe it was Stitman.
Number 40.
Number 40, pardon me. That's Ryan Livingston. I couldn't tell 1-0 or 4-0, but the blitz came in right behind the center, and he hit the quarterback, and he's back up. It'll be 3rd and 8, and that caused that pass to be deflected at the line of scrimmage, quite possibly by Livingston on the blitz.
We don't want to forget Frank's auto sales, that extra point on that touchdown.
That's true. We've had 3 of those extra points, and then the field goal, of course, as well. So here we go, 3rd down and 8 from their own 35-yard line, or the Tigers trips to the near side. And he's going to roll right and back the pass. He's going to have to run it. He throws. It's going to be deflected, but yet caught. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. Was he past the line of scrimmage? I think he threw it right from the 30. So just inside, it's going to be about a 14-yard pickup, but a first down for Mount Pleasant, their first one in quite a while.
And he got the pass away while he was in the grass, and looked like a little bit of a wounded duck going out there. And it was number 11, I believe. Zay Gray.
Yeah, Zay Gray on the reception.
Zay Brown on the reception.
6'4", 200-pound wide receiver. So here we go. 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line. And Mount Pleasant, they trail, man in motion. They trail 24-0. They hand off up the middle on the trap. And he's going to pick up maybe a yard right at midfield where he's stopped by several Pirates, including Livingston and a couple others there on the tackle. Dallas Dixon as well as Phillips in the middle, big number 76.
Sam Williams, number 27, in on the tackle.
So it'll be 2nd down and 8 from the 49-yard line, the Pine Tree 49 for Mount Pleasant. Clock rolls. Will be right around 3 minutes left in the second quarter of a 24-0 Pine Tree lead thus far. We're going to run student body right this time and pick up enough yardage for the first down outside the 40 down to the 38 or 9-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 37. So it's a 12-yard run and a first down for Mount Pleasant.
A little stiff arm to the face of Dallas Dixon, but he stayed with him to take him out of bounds.
Malcolm Leonard on the run, and he picks up that big, nice 12-yard run in the first down at the 37. But, Mount Pleasant in several possessions has been able to move between the 20s, but that's been about it. And Pine Tree has stopped them. The one time they almost scored. Here we go. Delay handoff once again up the middle. Picks up about 2 or 3. There's Rashad Livingston and a couple others there to meet him. And pick up 2 yards, give him 3 on the play, so it's second down and 7. Clock running, 2:45 and counting in the second quarter of a 24-0 Pine Tree lead.
Yeah, Mount Pleasant has a couple of 300-pounders. Number 99, Trey Emery, coming in at 304. And let's see, number 65, Josh Herrera, 304 as well.
They're on the offensive line. Yep. So second down at 8 from the 35. They run a delay again. There's 31 with a tackle. Ahmad Washington wraps him up by himself for only about a short 1-yard gain. So it'll be third down and 7 upcoming for the Tigers. So third down and 7 upcoming for the Tigers. Clock rolls. We're under 2 minutes now before the half. 24-0 Pine Tree with the lead. And the big plays again, the explosive plays. There's been 3 of them in this half, which always looks good for the Pirates when they can do that. The defense gets right back on the field to get ready, though. Trips far side of the field for the Tigers. Going to roll that way and look. Going to throw over the middle. It's caught on a slant. He's got a first down and more. He's at the 10. He's to the 5, and he's going to score. The Tigers get in the end zone, number 1 on the reception on the 8-yard slant. Breaks across the middle of the field and takes it 35 yards for the touchdown. Miller McCrumbie, 6'4", 200-pound junior, with a pitch and catch and a nice run in the end zone. And the Tigers are on the board for the first time tonight with the PAT upcoming. It's 24-6 with 1:32 remaining in the first half. Snap is high, kick is down, and it is still good. And we have a new score with 1:32 remaining before the half. The score is Pine Tree 24, Mount Pleasant 7. You're listening and watching Pine Tree football here live in Mount Pleasant. We'll return in just a moment with a kickoff and more Pine Tree Pirate football. So Mount Pleasant has responded for the first time tonight. They take a 50-yard drive in on about 7 plays and cash it in with a 35-yard touchdown pass from Peterson, their quarterback, to McCrumbie, the wideout, and a nice pitch and catch for Mount Pleasant. And now they're kicking off. And Pine Tree will have to kick off to them to start the second half here with 1:32 remaining in the first half of a 24-7 lead for the Pirates. Kicks it high and deep, and it's going to be fielded at the 20, about the 19-yard line by number 10. Stipman runs wide and is brought down pretty much immediately. I don't know why you're going to run wide with 4 or 5 gold-clad Tigers running down at you. You just take the ball and run straight ahead. I guess he was going to run for blocks, but he didn't get there, and that's Stipman. And he's brought down at about the 17-yard line where the Pirates will go to work here on this possession, leading 24-7.
Number 14, Ed Wilder, on the tackle. And also a final score, Texas High keeps their win-laden season going with a 21-17 finish over Nacogdoches.
They're 9-0 in the season now, and they go to 6-0 in district play. Haven't copped it yet totally, the championship, but they at least will have a chance to get a tie before next week's game. Pass over the middle is caught, and of course it's number 6, and he's going to pick up going to pick up 11 or 12 yards in the first down, give him 12 on the pitch and catch. That is, of course, Keelan Turner. Pine Tree's going to race up the line of scrimmage and get it going again. There's a first down on the play. They're waiting for the chains. Twins to the far side of the field for DJ's offense. Rolls that way, looking. He's been really good tonight throwing. The pass is going to be high and uncatchable. Almost caught by a defensive back for Mount Pleasant, but incomplete, and it'll be 2nd and 10 now from the 30.
We haven't seen Pine Tree do that hurry-up offense in a while. This is, I think they did it against Marshall.
They haven't had to, really, but this is a good practice to do it, because at some point in the next few games, you might have a point where you're trailing and you have to move the ball down the field quickly and get something happening like that. So you can't really simulcast it, if you will, at practice the same way you can during game time, obviously. So Twins to the far side of the field. One back set, of course, is Sheffield next to DJ. In the slot is Stump Smith for Pine Tree. Outside, a little high. He's going to race down the field and throw it for a receiver deep. It's not going to be catchable, and it's incomplete. They keep going deep as they see a potential weakness there, but it's going to be 3rd and 10 upcoming. They just need to get a first down first. Try to pick up 10 yards and get the drive going this way, because they're throwing it for a home run ball every time. And they've gotten a couple of those tonight, but at the same time, you need to possess the ball and keep their offense off the field the rest of the half. First down will probably do it, but they're going to need one right here on 3rd down and 10 from their own 30-yard line. From the shotgun is DJ. Pops his hands together. It's going to be a design run. He runs right. He's got an opening. Oh, and he's tripped up late. He's going to pick up about 7 yards, but that'll be 4th down upcoming. We'll see if he'll punt out of that or maybe run it again. Just need to keep the ball for one more possession to run out the half without having to punt it. I'd run the same type of design play and let him run the ball again to pick up 2 or 3 yards.
Pretty much. There's about 20 seconds difference between the play clock and the game clock. So,
unless they take a penalty here and then punt it, which they may do that as well. They're in no hurry to get to the line of scrimmage. Down to 12 on the play clock, and that's apparently, he may take a timeout, though, too, to discuss and let the clock run down. I believe that's what he's going to do. At about 2 seconds on the play clock, will it be about 17 on the game clock, they'll call a timeout, and there it is. Carey calls it with 17.2 seconds left, right as the play clock goes off with no flag. So it'll be 3rd down and 3, and Pine Tree will discuss it and pick up a first down here and run out the half with a 24-7 lead. You don't want to turn the ball over here deep on your side of the field and have something bad happen, so they can close the gap in this one. 24-7 lead looks kind of good at halftime.
Well, and with the timeout, we give an opportunity to let us speak about Double H Crawfish and Shrimp out in New Diana. We appreciate their sponsorship.
That is Brandon Gleason. Owns and operates that out in Diana. He is the father of backup quarterback Hunter Gleason. And I found out this week when we got together on Facebook that he is kin to some Gleasons that I grew up with many, many years ago in Longview. They all favor, so tall and slender and blonde. And his son is probably just as tall as he is now, and he's 16 years old. But nice ownership there for father of a Pirate, and that's the Gleason family that runs H&H. You knew that, but didn't tell me.
Well, and that's out that when you get into New Diana, you got to look for the store on the left. They're inside a store right there at the junction of the highways.
Nice for their sponsorship here. They're going to line up to punt the football of the Pirates, so deep is DJ to punt it. They're going to kick it away and not risk not getting a first down after calling the timeout. 17 seconds remain in the first half. And then he kicks it away. Nice kick to the right. It's going to get a Pine Tree roll, and it does a beautiful roll. It's still rolling inside the 20 and picked up right there at the 18-yard line, 19. That's a 43-yard kick, about 30 yards on the air and about 12 yards on the roll. And so Mount Pleasant takes over there at the 19-yard line. They're on 19 with 8 seconds remaining in the first half in a 24-7 Pine Tree lead.
Reckon we'll see them try a long pass to their main receiver down here, number 11.
We could, and then again, they may take a snap and just run the football, run out the half. Now, of course, it doesn't hurt them to not try for a huge play, and they may pick it up. Run another slant to the tall, speedy wide receivers, and you never know. They're going to roll right this time. He's got plenty of time. He's going to have to keep it and throw. He throws out of bounds. It's caught at about the 37, and it looks like a good catch, and it will be. And that's a pickup of 17 yards to the 36 with 1 second remaining in the half. They pick up 16 yards on the pass play. Number 11 on the reception is Zay Brown, 6'3", 200-pound senior. with a nice toe tap along the sideline and a 16-yard pass play to the 35.
Just great concentration. He saw that way. He caught the ball first and looked down at the yard line and just kept his feet in. Great reception.
This will be the last play of the half, no doubt about it. 1 second left on the clock. 24-7 Pine Tree leads the Tigers. Pine Tree scored the first 24, and Mount Pleasant had it the last time. There's a run up the middle, and he's going to pick up about 4 or 5 yards as the half does end on that power run play up the middle. Turner on the tackle along with Ryan Livingston and a couple others. And that'll do it. First half is done and in the books. The score, Pine Tree 24, Mount Pleasant 7. We're at halftime. We'll be back in a few minutes with more halftime. We'll get everything together and probably have the Mount Pleasant band performing, I would guess. But if not, we will be back in a few moments with some halftime stats and all that good stuff. The score right now at the half, Pine Tree 24, Mount Pleasant 7. This is Pine Tree Pirate football. We'll return in a few moments.
Your brand is our business.
You bring it, we'll brand it. I'm Riley Johnny, and I approve this message.
Join me at this time in welcoming our honorees to the field. The 2020 Football Sweethearts, freshman sweetheart Conley Zachary. Conley is the daughter of Chet and Shonda Zachary. Her hobbies include basketball and softball. Conley is a member of the Lady Tiger basketball team and softball teams. She has also played for the Texas Sudden Impact Softball Organization for 6 years. Conley is an A honor roll student and has received many softball awards. Her plans after high school are to play NCAA collegiate softball like her sister and attend the University of Arkansas to pursue a degree in the medical field. She is escorted by her father, Chet Zachary, 2020 freshman sweetheart, Conley Zachary. JV sweetheart, Elizabeth Lockett. Beth could not be with us this evening. We want to congratulate her on her nomination. Beth is the daughter of Cedric and Shantae Lockett. She loves to take pictures and spend time with her Mimi. Beth has been a Tiger cheerleader for 3 years, a member of track and field team for 1 year, a member of the NTHS for 1 year, and FBLA for 3 years, where she also served as historian and treasurer. Beth was the vice president of the class of 2022, her sophomore year. Her plans after high school are to attend UT Arlington to become a pediatric physician assistant for children with cancer. Varsity sweetheart, Karen Trejo. Karen is the daughter of Vicente and Evelyn Trejo. In her free time, Karen loves hanging out with her friends, practicing a new language, and napping. She has been a member of the MPHS Color Guard for 4 years, Student Council for 3 years, HOSA for 2 years, and NHS for 1 year. Karen is also CET and CPR certified. She plans to attend Texas Women's University, where she will pursue a degree in biochemistry to become a pediatric nurse practitioner. Karen is escorted by her dad, Vicente Trejo, 2020 varsity sweetheart, Karen Trejo. Please give these ladies a round of applause. Congratulations to our 2020 Tiger football sweethearts. Next are our 2020 Going Gold Band sweetheart and beau. They will be crowned by last year's sweetheart and beau, Jennifer DeSiga and Pedro Portillo. Band sweetheart, Patricia Roque. Patricia is the daughter of Anselmo Roque and Petalina Martinez. She enjoys shopping and spending time with her friends and family. Patricia has competed in UIL for 4 years. She also has been a member of HOSA for 3 years, NTHS for 2 years, and NHS for 2 years. She is the HOSA Vice President, NTHS Vice President, and NHS Historian. She has received academic blankets in geometry, pre-calculus, and calculus. After graduation, Patricia plans to attend University of Texas and pursue a career as a physician assistant. Bandbow, Mako Estrada. Mako is the son of Jose and Maria Estrada. Mako enjoys running, dancing, and playing soccer and music. He plays the tuba in the Going Gold Band. He is also a 2-year member of NHS, a 4-year member of band, and a 4-year member of HOSA, where he is currently the treasurer. Mako is recognized as the Rotary Club Student of the Month in September. He is also CET certified. After high school, Mako plans to attend Stephen F. Austin State University and pursue a career in the medical field. The 2020 Bandbow, Mako Estrada. Please give our band honorees a round of applause. Congratulations to our 2020 Going Gold Band sweetheart and Bo. Our homecoming king nominees are: first nominee, Samuel Carrillo. Samuel is the son of Rosa Mata. He enjoys playing soccer and hanging out with friends. Samuel enjoyed his welding and engineering classes at MPHS. After high school, he plans to attend school in Marshall to become a certified welder. Samuel is escorted by his teacher, his sister, Jennifer Torres. Our second nominee is Gavin Fife. Gavin is the son of Brandy Fife. He enjoys photography and fashion. While at MPHS, Gavin has been a 4-year member of FBLA, a 2-year member of FCCLA, and a 2-member of NHS. He received the academic blanket for fashion design in 2019 and 20 school year and was voted senior class favorite. Gavin plans to attend the University of Texas to major in textiles and apparel. He will then transfer to an art school in New York to continue his education in fashion design. Gavin is escorted by his mother, Brandy Fife. Our third nominee, Didier Serrano. Didier is the son of Damien and Aurea Serrano. He likes working out, hanging out with friends, and watching basketball. Didier has been a member of varsity cross country for 3 years and varsity track for 2 years. He plans to attend Tyler Junior College and transfer to the University of Texas to complete a degree in biology. Didier plans to become a cardiac physician and open a clinic in Austin. Didier is escorted by his mother, Aurea Serrano. Our fourth nominee is Devin Williams. Devin is the son of Shayla Norman. He enjoys sports, music, and fashion. Devin was a member of the football team for 1 year, Showtime AAU basketball team for 2 years, and the MPHS varsity basketball team for 3 years. After graduation, he plans to attend the University of North Texas to pursue a degree in business. He would like to open his own fashion business in Mount Pleasant to be able to give back to the community. He is escorted by his mom. Now the homecoming queen nominees. Your first nominee is Lisette Cruz. Lisette is the daughter of Jose Victor and Maria Cruz. She enjoys playing soccer, shopping, and spending time with her family. Lisette is a 4-year member of the MPHS Lady Tigers soccer team and was a member of HOSA her sophomore year. Lisette was a first-team all-district soccer player in 2019-2020 school year. She plans to attend NTCC to play soccer and then transfer to Columbia Southern University to continue her soccer and major in occupational health and safety. Lisette is escorted by her mother, Maria Cruz. Your second nominee is Lindsay Patino. Lindsay is the daughter of Louise and Claudia Patino. She enjoys hanging out with her friends. Lindsay has been a Tiger Doll for 3 years. After high school, she plans to attend Texas A&M Commerce to pursue a career as a social worker. Lindsay is escorted by her dad, Louise Patino. Your third nominee, Alejandra Ramirez. Alejandra is the daughter of Alex and Marcela Ramirez. She enjoys playing sports, going out with friends and family, and working out. Alejandra has been a member of NTHS for 1 year, FBLA for 2 years, NHS for 2 years, and Color Guard Manager for 1 year. She received a 2018 academic blanket. Alejandra plans to attend Texas A&M to earn a degree in biomedical science and attend medical school. She is escorted by her father, Alex Ramirez. And your fourth nominee, Yurka Valentin. Yurka is the daughter of Juan Valente and Ana Espinoza. She enjoys shopping and spending time with her family. Yurka has been a member of HOSA for 1 year. After high school, she plans to attend Texas A&M to pursue a degree in business. Yurka is escorted by her father, Juan Valente. Congratulations to all the Homecoming King and Queen nominees. The 2020 Homecoming King will be crowned by last year's King, John Hernandez, and the Queen will be crowned by last year's Queen, Alexia Gill. Drum roll, please. The 2020 Homecoming King is Samuel Carrillo. Drum roll, please. The 2020 Homecoming Queen is Yurka Valente. We'd like to thank you to those present who came out to show support to our parents, our students. Thank you to Mills Flowers and the floor arrangements and court gifts. Go Tigers!
And we're back here at halftime just for a few moments. The Mount Pleasant band will be on, and we will show them and their activities. Just want to throw in for a couple moments, give us the first half stats very quickly. In the first half, DJ Freeman has 6 carries for 63 yards and a 51-yard touchdown. Sheffield has 8 carries for 65 yards in the first half. And passing the football, DJ is 6 of 12 for 188. An 82-yard touchdown pass and a 71-yard touchdown pass. So Pine Tree has 152 rushing, 188 passing for 340 yards in the first half. They've only had the 1 or 2 possessions. They had the 1 punt, and they had 1 other possession and went out on downs. Otherwise, they scored the other 4 times they had the football. 3 touchdowns, all explosive plays. 51-yard rush, 71-yard deflection pass reception by Nakima Williams, and then the 82-yard bomb. And beautiful pass play from DJ Freeman to Keelan Turner. So Pine Tree with 340 in the first half. And on the flip side for Mount Pleasant, they have 88 yards passing, 62 yards rushing. So they have right at 150 total in the first half. Pine Tree with 12 first downs, Mount Pleasant with 8. And so big receiver in the first half, Keelan Turner, 2 receptions for 111. And also 2 receptions for Nakima Williams for 79 yards. 8 carries for 64 yards for Sheffield and 6 carries for 63 yards for DJ. And the defense has made great plays, and the offense they're on pace to have a 700-yard game or 600 if they should keep it up. 340 at the half. That's halfway to 680.
We'll see what happens.
Let's see what happens. I think Cary would like another half just like this one and walk out of here with a 48-14 win or something like that. And so anything and everything's possible, especially when you catch a really fortuitous break on a pass to one side of the field where one wide receiver takes it on a deflection 4 yards behind the other one. So.
Yeah, I think if you see them get 10 more points, I think you'll see them start to pull back.
And
they want to get the point spread. It doesn't look like they're going to need that point spread at this time of the season.
17 is it, correct?
17 is the cap.
And that's where they're at. The main thing is to get out without injuries and give some of your backups time to play should you be up by 4 scores going to the fourth quarter, for example. So
right. I think they'll want a little cushion in there.
But there's a few stats. Got a score from the district as well, that game that started at 5 p.m., and we didn't realize it. That's Jacksonville at White House, Brett.
They did. Hang on, let me find it.
42-14 or something like that. White House rebounds.
Texas High 21-17 over Nacogdoches. White House 42-14 over Jacksonville, and of course Marshall over Hallsville. And that's a +2, -2 on the forfeit.
On the forfeit. So that's it. We'll be back with more scores and a little bit more halftime. But on your screen, you should be seeing the White House, not White House, pardon me, that was last week. The Mount Pleasant drill team and band coming up for their halftime after their royalty was introduced to their home crowds here on basically senior night and homecoming. They're doing it all right now because they missed it from what I was told a couple weeks ago when they were to host Hallsville, and that was going to be their homecoming game. This was always going to be senior night. So here's the Mount Pleasant drill team and the band upcoming for more halftime. We'll return in a few minutes. Once again, the score, Pine Tree at the half leads Mount Pleasant 24-7. We'll be right back.
Tonight's performance is dedicated to our 15 Tiger Doll seniors that will kick for the very last time tonight at Sam Parker Field. We love you, seniors. Once a doll, always a doll. Watch now as the Tiger Dolls perform their legendary high kick routine to Magnificent Seven.
for this evening are Dr. Theodis Luckett III, Jamie Sterritt, Sherry Sullivan, Karen Luckett, Alicia Hargett, Christian Gomez, Brian Bass, Jack Grissom, Presley McClendon, and Jorge Banda. The drum majors are Nia Jackson, Nicholas Segovia, Manoa Bagzik, and color guard Captain Taryn Thurman. And now, the award-winning Mount Pleasant Going Gold Band. Let's hear it for your Mount Pleasant award-winning Going Gold Band. Overall band student of the week are Ilse Ogentis and Sashi Pudel. This show is dedicated to all of our seniors. A special thank you to our senior drum majors, Nia Jackson and Nicholas Segovia. Thank you for your leadership and dedication. The directors would like to thank parents.
I'm Riley John Ingram with Customers Pine Tree Fan Club, and we just want to say, Go!
And we're back here at Mount Pleasant, Texas, at Mount Pleasant High School, Sam Parker Field on the campus of Mount Pleasant High School at Tiger Stadium. I'm Randy Johnson. Alongside me, of course, for Pine Tree football is Brett Conway and Larry Mahan. And the first half stats really tell the tale of big plays that Pine Tree pulled off and another couple of drives, but the 51-yard run, a 71-yard deflection pass reception touchdown for Nakima Williams, and then the home run ball from DJ Freeman to wide receiver Keelan Turner for 82 yards. Pine Tree with 340 yards unofficially in the first half. And my stat help is coming from Hayden Henry of the Longview News Journal. He's pulling double duty today as he covered Longview at home against McKinney North in a 55-10 spanking of the Lobos over the Bulldogs in 7-5A Division I play. And then he got on the road here to Mount Pleasant to cover this one for the Longview News Journal for Pine Tree. And he said it's been a long day of covering two games that aren't really even close. And so Longview was up 41-10 at the half and 24-7 here at the half. So a lot of help there on the stats in the first half from Hayden Henry of the Longview News Journal. Got to give him a a good push there. And the Pirates are coming back on the field, and we're just a moment away from the Tigers coming back on the field in a 24-7 Pine Tree lead at the half, Brett.
And we'll look to see if Pine Tree comes out and takes off the attack like they did in the first half. I think we'll see them go to the long passes for a couple of sets of plays, and then maybe scale it back just a little bit. If things continue the way they are, scale it back a little bit along about the fourth quarter.
Yeah, well,
but not to let things get out of hand.
Yeah, you want to
well.
have the lead, and you want to get everybody on that sideline on the field tonight, at least for a few plays. Say if you go into the fourth quarter with a 25 to 30 point lead, I think that could be the time that you get everybody on the field to play. This being the last road trip of district, of course. On the schedule for next Friday on the 4th of December, are the Hallsville Bobcats coming to town or not? So that remains to be seen. In the pregame, Kerry had not heard. As far as he knows, the game is on, and I've heard conflicting reports, but we shall see what we shall see in that one, if it comes to fruition or not, for a home game for Pine Tree against Hallsville next week. If not, more than likely right now, barring some crazy things happening, Pine Tree will host a playoff game in 2 weeks on the 11th, 12th weekend of December. That remains unknown as well. It could come down to A&M Consolidated again or Montgomery High. Probably one of those two teams would be the opponent, depending on who finishes third from that district of 10 5A Division II. And that's got the Montgomery kids in there along with a few others. Huntsville's in the lead right now. A&M Consolidated, that grouping would be potential matchups for bi-district. They hang on and win tonight, and that pretty much almost assures them of hosting a playoff game, and no worse than a second-place finish. But first things first, the second half of this one, and we'll talk about the others as we find out things later in the evening or next week if Pine Tree does, in fact, host Hallsville.
And they'll see someone from District 10, and then after the first set of games, then they'll you see someone from District 11 and 12.
Exactly. Down the southeast quadrant of the state. Fair catch by Mount Pleasant. No, he's going to catch it and run, come back to the right side, and he's going to be swarmed under by just a couple of Pirates. Oh, he gets hit hard at the very end by Greg Kalulu as well, and a few others there on the stop. 17 gets up, number 8 gets up, Nakima Williams there on the stop at the 30-yard line. The 31-yard line, Mount Pleasant will start here the second half in a 24-7 Pine Tree lead. Peterson's their quarterback. He comes out with his offense, and Pine Tree's defense out there. Sam Williams is out there, number 27. Big 76, Brycelyn Phillips. Number 14 is out there. That's Evans along the defensive front, and Sam Williams. Linebackers are Dallas Dixon, Ryan Livingston, and also on the far side, running outside for little to no gain, maybe a yard on that run play for Mount Pleasant, and several Pirates there to make the stop.
And leading the tackling there, number 33 for Pine Tree, and then, of course, it's Cameron Turner. And you had help from several of the Pirates, as you said.
Williams there as well, and so Pine Tree, gain of, let's give him 2. It's second and 8. Clock runs at 11:20. We'll be at about 11:15 for the ball snap of the third quarter in a 24-7 Pine Tree lead. Here against the homebound Mount Pleasant Tigers in gold tops and black pants. Pine Tree's white tops, white helmets, and blue pants. Handoff again to the right side. He spins around. He's not going to get much at all, maybe a yard, maybe 2, as he tries to wrestle free on the far side of the field. So it'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming at the 35-yard line for the Tigers, trailing 24-7.
Yeah, stepping up, stopping, number 29, Tyler Neal. We haven't called his name tonight. And also number 40, Ryan Livingston, and, of course, 44, Dallas Dixon. Dixon is piling up his tackles again tonight.
They double digits last week, gets him an award from the Longview News-Journal, and a big photo op shoot of his game look last week for the Pirates with the gold tops and the blue pants at home. Actually, blue tops and gold pants at home. Back to pass, rolling right, trying to get free. He's going to have a little room and should have a first down, but no, he's running out of bounds at the 39, a couple of yards short. It'll be 4th and 2 upcoming. Nice play on the far side of the field for the Pirates. Looks like Tyler Neal ran him out of bounds.
Tyler Neal and Dallas Dixon.
So 4th and a long 2 upcoming for Mount Pleasant. Really, your backs are against the wall. You've got to maintain possession, but this is an awfully dicey time to go for it. They may pooch kick it and get it down the field real quickly, but 4th and 2, a Pirate stop here, man. Really could be big trouble for Mount Pleasant. They stack the ball to the right, and they'll come back with a man in motion left. Pine Tree's going to shoot the gap, the handoff, and he's not going to get there. He's going to be stopped. No, he pushes forward, and he might get it with a second push, and he does. To the 43-yard line on the die play to the near side of the field, a first down, and that's Ed Wilder for a pickup of 3 and a first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, their front line, number 60, Ashton Simon, he's 273. I believe 65, Herrera was in there, 304. They're leading the way. Kind of tough to get around them that time.
Yeah, they're pretty big old boys up front. Their problem is just an overall lack of depth. They've got some talented football players, clearly. But we said this last year, and it's the same thing again this year. Pine Tree has enough and more depth and even more athleticism to defeat a type of team like this. There's a die play up the middle, and he's going to pick up maybe a yard. Still not down, still fighting free is Wilder. Took 4 or 5 Pirates to finally get him at Dallas Dixon. Here comes a flag. How could he stop, referee? How could he stop for the tackle? It's going to be a late hit against Pine Tree, but Ed Wilder wasn't stopped running the football. But this is going to be a 15-yard penalty against Pine Tree because they just tackled to the whistle. Well, unfortunate.
Had him wrapped up all the way through the sideline, and there was no way he could let go of him.
But they're going to throw a flag, which is ridiculous. Just a ridiculous flag.
We do have a player down, don't we?
But he's being tackled, and he's not stopping moving his feet. You expect him to let go and let him run down the sideline. But it's going to be a 15-yard penalty against Pine Tree, and should be waving off the flag because that's not very bright. I'll state it, and somebody can get mad at me for that. But this is a bogus flag, period. 15-yarder, an automatic first down for Mount Pleasant. How can you stop tackling a guy that's not stopping running? Absolutely just a given. Here we go. First down upcoming from Mount Pleasant. Twins to the far side at the 41-yard line after the 15-yard mark-off of that flag. Here we go. Near side, run up the middle. He's tackled again. This kid runs really hard. This is number 4 this time and not 14. But number 14 was not giving up any ground running the football. And to just throw a flag because you carry out your tackles, it's a head scratcher. Official from 20 yards down the field, nowhere near the play, doesn't have a clue.
Tyrese Jones and Sam Williams.
Pick up a 4 on the play. Second down and 7 upcoming. A long 3. We'll give him 4. They mark in between the lines of scrimmage for the Mount Pleasant Tigers here on their first possession of the second half. The first possession of the second half. Clock running under 9 minutes of the third quarter, 24-7. Handoff, and he gets nowhere here. Number 4 once again. That time is tackled for a loss for Jalen Williams on the run. And several Pirates there, including Ahmad Washington getting up and a couple others.
Just great penetration that time by the Pirates, looking for the run. Of course, stepping up, making it stop.
Third down and 8 upcoming from the 39-yard line for Mount Pleasant. On their first possession of the second half and a 24-7 Pine Tree lead here at Mount Pleasant. Twins to the near side of the field for quarterback Peterson. One man in the set next to him. He rolls back, throws. Going down the field, it's going to be overthrown and incomplete. Nobody can get there, no flag. And it will be a 4th down and 8 upcoming for the Tigers. And obviously they'll keep their offense on the field. They may punt it, I don't know. They went forward a minute ago at their own 40. So 4th and 8 upcoming, and they will go forward again on this one. Quarterback Peterson, and he has Wilder next to him, who's just a really fine athlete and runs really hard. So here we go. Twins to the far side of the field for the Tigers. 4th and 8. Back to pass. They're going to run a screen near side. 14's got it. Can't get around several Pirates. Fumbles the football as it's knocked away, and the Pirates will get it. It's a turnover and a fumble. And they'll get it right at the 40-yard line on the turnover. So it would have turned over on downs anyway, but it's a fumble, the first turnover of the ball game against Mount Pleasant, and the Pirates take over at their own 40.
And the fumble picked up by number 11, JoJo Fisher. He'll be talking about that one for a while.
Not sure who forced it. One of the linebackers, I believe, did, as they run a little inside screen, and Pine Tree picks it up, and I believe it was Ryan Livingston. I could be mistaken. It looked like 40 that knocked the ball away, but it's recovered by defensive end, as you mentioned, JoJo Fisher.
Yeah, knocked it out on the tackle.
Okay, so 1st and 10 for Pine Tree at their own 40-yard line. First possession of the second half. And they hand it off to the little man up the middle and charges forward for about 7 yards, maybe 8. That's Tyler Sheffield, 8-yard gain on first down. Sheffield had 8 carries for 64 yards in the first half. DJ had 6 carries for 63 yards, including a 51-yard touchdown run. He had 2 touchdown passes of his 6 for 12 in the first half for 188 in the air. We'll see him at least, I would guess, for the third quarter, and let's see what happens beyond. Get a couple scores here in the third quarter, and they'll rest him, I'm almost certain. Here we go. Backfield mate, hand off to him on the delay, and he's going to be hit near the line of scrimmage and brought down for about a half-a-yard loss is Tyler Sheffield. So it'll be third down upcoming for the Pirates here at their own 47-yard line in the 7:25 clock running here in the third quarter.
Well, we'll see if the Pirates go to that little cross route here that they've been successful with on third down a few times.
Or they could run it with the quarterback on just a really designed running play and pick up more than 3 yards, or quite possibly, many more yards. So one back set, of course, is Sheffield, the senior next to the senior quarterback, DJ Freeman for Pine Tree. And he fakes it to him. He keeps it, and he rolls left, and he'll have the first down and more. Maybe not. Maybe he does. He's got the 45. He's got the far sideline, and out of bounds at the 42. So a pickup of 11 yards for DJ Freeman in the first down, keeping it on the option run to the left side.
Do we have a flag there?
Yes, there is. And, of course, this is it's right near the end of the play.
That was thrown after the play.
It could be a face mask. Could be against Mount Pleasant. We see the referee has not shown us any kind of signal almost. There we go. And it is a personal foul against Mount Pleasant along the far sideline. Probably he was hit somewhat, if you want to call it that, as he went out of bounds. But that's probably the penalty, and it's a 15-yarder. This will take Pine Tree inside the 30-yard line down to about the 26. And that's exactly where they're going to mark it. It's a 15-yard penalty on top of the 12-yard run for DJ.
I didn't see who was behind him, but he was up. He had stepped out of bounds and was walking back, and then they threw the flag, and I believe it happened behind him.
Well, at any rate, Pirates catch a break with a penalty, the first big defensive penalty all night against Mount Pleasant. They've had several of the offensive varieties with the false starts and all, and a block below the waist. Here we go. Going to delay handoff. Tyler Sheffield's got the middle of the field, got the first down to the 15, still trudges forward inside the 15. He's going to be marked down right inside the 15. It's an 11-yard run for a first down, and they're inside the red zone, or the Pirates. Knocking on the door again, leading 24-7 by 3 scores with 6:40 in the clock running here in the third quarter. Having a great offensive game and a really good defensive game, too, and that's what you want to have, leading your team down the stretch in a pretty tough district and one where you can go forward and have a 5-1 record after this evening. One back set, delay. They're going to hand it to Tyler. He's got a yard or two up the middle. Going to be marked out at about the 12. Let's give him 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 upcoming for the Pirates.
He's been given free rides tonight. He's taken about 3 or 4 people along with him every time.
Move up front. Give credit to the offensive line, the likes of Carroll and Webb, and the center, Brody, up front, and we've got 2 or 3 others we failed to mention. I'll get all those tonight, and I will. The offensive line has done a great job and has helped Pine Tree move down the field, and they've been really, really tough tonight. Have had Joseph Monk and et cetera, and Cole Salazar, Christian Contreras, and Webb along the front for Pine Tree. 2nd down 8, up the middle. He keeps it. DJ's got the 10, the 5. He's got the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown, DJ Freeman and Pine Tree. 13-yard run. Untouched on the quarterback keeper, and he really isn't touching it. He gets to the end zone and scores his 2nd running touchdown of the night.
That touchdown brought to you by that offensive line, number 14, Dalen Evans, number 76, Bryson Phillips, number 77, Christian Webb, number 51, and 57, Joseph Monk, and we got 57 in there, I believe, but might be a different
Pine
number.
Tree gets another offensive touchdown on a DJ Freeman run for 13 yards out. The PAT by the left foot, Herbert, and it is good. Brandt kicks it. PAT is good. And with 5:35 remaining in the third quarter, the new score, Pine Tree 31, Mount Pleasant 7. You're listening to Pine Tree Pirate Football. We'll return in a moment with more of Pine Tree Pirate Football. The Pirates take it down. The touchdown brought to you by Lawler Jewelry, of course. And the Pirates here in the third quarter. Titan Well Services is also the sponsor of third quarter Pine Tree football. Got to throw them out there. You'll see that ad on the screen as well.
Don't forget Frank.
And Frank's, of course, 8 plays, 61 yards. DJ Freeman takes it the last 13. His second touchdown rushing of the night. Down quickly to the field. Nice run back by Mount Pleasant. Going to get it past the 40. He's to midfield, giving chase to several Pirates, including Herbert, and he's finally brought down at the 30-yard line by Camden McIntyre. And that's about, let's see, it's going to be about a 60-yard return down to the 30-yard line.
Spark a little hope there for Mount Pleasant and their fans. That's something to stand on their feet about.
So he took it at about the 15 and cut back to the middle of the field and raced to the near side of the field, running from south to north down to the 20, the 30-yard line, pardon me. That is a 55-yard return or right thereabouts. Pine Tree takes over in Pine Tree territory only for the second time all night to take over a drive in Pine Tree territory. This is their best field position of the whole evening on an offensive possession. It goes about Dallas Dixon blitzes, can't get to him, but a couple other Pirates are there for a sack and a 5-yard loss, and it is Ryan Livingston there to wrap him up after Dallas Dixon forced him back inside.
Becker Peterson sacked in the backfield for a 5-yard loss. Second down and 15.
You handle that. So it's a 5-yard loss. It's second and 15 from the 35 now. We got Pine Tree just over 400 yards of offense now in the football game with that drive to start the second half. They're 340 in the first half, 61 there. So right at 400 yards of offense are the Pirates. And get a couple more possessions. Possession limiting is what you would want to do if you're Mount Pleasant. There's a bad snap. The quarterback gets it, fires, throws. It's going to be down the field. This is going to be, it's interference against Pine Tree. It could go either way. But Pine Tree player did pull him down at the end. And it's going to be pass interference, it looks like, against Pine Tree. Although the Mount Pleasant player played the ball first and played the player himself, but he's going to get the benefit of the pass. And I don't know why this is a 40-yard penalty. This is ridiculous. This isn't the pros. It's going to be a first down, but way back down on the field.
There is a penalty marker.
Well, they're acting like this is the NFL. It's not a spot foul. It's a 10-yard penalty and a first down. This is not a 40-yard penalty, guys. Carries out on the field at the 25 with his hands out. This is not a spot foul. What?
They're saying he caught it.
He caught the ball?
That's what they're saying.
That ball hit the ground. Well, it's a catch, and that's why it was declined. So they had the ball first and goal of the 2. Up the middle. Looks like they may pile it in, and they do. Touchdown, Mount Pleasant on the phantom catch. Man, if he caught that ball, that was just a miracle catch. And they're saying he did. And so, of course, there's no replay here in high school football. And a beautiful catch there on the play before. Gets them inside the 2-yard line, and they take it in on a 2-yard run. Number 4 does the honors up the middle for Mount Pleasant. That is Jalen Williams. So it is 31-13 with the PAT at 4:21 left in the third quarter. And Mount Pleasant gets their second touchdown of the game, and they've got a player running on late. And he gets in there, and looks like they got too many on the field, but there's your flag. That ought to be an illegal substitution. But I don't know the rules any better than the officials. They're just calling a false start. They got more than 11 players on the field.
Yeah, it was a reception. He caught it.
Ball start against the Tigers.
Was a reception.
It was a reception, so he kept
It looked
the ball.
like the ball hit the ground to me.
No, it was. He had it.
Okay, I get it.
It was good.
I get it. It was one heck of a catch. Because it looked like the Pine Tree player had the ball all the way. Anyway, kick is up, and a line drive is barely good on the right side. And with 4:21 remaining in the ball game, the new score, Pine Tree 31, Mount Pleasant 14. You're listening and watching YouTube Pine Tree Pirate Football. We'll be back in a moment.
I'm Riley John Ingram with Customers Pine Tree Fan Club, and we just want to say, go!
So Mount Pleasant has answered and responded here in the third quarter after they went out on their first possession. Pine Tree scored quickly on 7 plays and 61 yards, and they come back with an 8-play drive themselves, and it was closer to 68 yards for Mount Pleasant. So it's 31-14 here with 4:20 left, and there's an onside kick try. Pine Tree dives. Kalulu, I believe, is up front, and he makes the recovery at the 47.
Onside kick recovered by number 26, Greg Kalulu.
26. It was Greg Kalulu on the recovery at the Pirates on 47. So they tried a little squib onside kick, and really none of their players went after it that hard except for their kicker. But it went right to number 26, who fell on it at the 48-yard line. That's where Pine Tree will take over.
Well, you know, some teams do that with the kicker. They'll do a little squib kick, and he's the only one running up to get it.
Well, I think the intention was for them to get on the ball and to recover an onside kick and keep possession and keep another possession to keep Pine Tree's offense off the field, because they have no answer for Pine Tree's offense except for 1 or 2 little possessions in the game. Pine Tree is very, very efficient and dominant offensively. There goes DJ, cuts back inside, has a short gain. He's going to turn it into about a 3-yard gain. He's hit late, but there's no flag. It's okay for them to hit guys out of bounds. That was a little tip-tap little hit, but he was hit 2 yards out of bounds after he stepped out. So it's a 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8 at midfield for Pine Tree.
Number 6, Lane Pinker.
Great catch on the last possession by Mount Pleasant on that deep pass play that went, instead of a interference, who I thought they were going to spot on the placement, they actually caught the ball. And so it's 2nd and 8 at midfield. DJ fakes a handoff, throws, and passes batted down at the line of scrimmage. Why are they falling on it? It's just an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down and 8 upcoming. Trying to fool the referee, I think. Several Mount Pleasant players ran for the football, but it was just clearly batted down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 8 upcoming. DJ, not very tall, has to get it up a little higher. He's 5'9", but a defensive lineman leapt up at the line of scrimmage and batted it away. So it's 3rd down and 8 at the midfield stripe for Pine Tree, leading 31-14, with 4:10 left in the third. Here on senior night at Mount Pleasant, 31-14, Pine Tree up. Twins to the far side of the field, rolling left as DJ's going to keep it all the way. Cuts inside, has a run, big run. He's at the 45, down to the 35, down to the 30, still moving, pushing his legs and churning down to the 22-yard line. A 28-yard run for DJ Freeman, and he's closing in. He's right at or just over 100 yards in the ball game, because he had 63 in the first half, and now he's had runs of 13 now and 28 here in the second half. So he's just over the 100-yard mark, right around 105 I have him for unofficially. So a nice passing night and an even better running night for DJ. So it's 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line for Pine Tree. Clock running at 3:30 and counting. Trying to push another score in to get close to 40 points. There's a delay handoff. Bounces up the middle, running hard ferociously. There's a late flag. It's either going to be a face mask or an offensive penalty, but it's about a 10-yard gain on the run. I think they're going to tack this on as they're trying to bring down number 25. He's grabbed by the headgear, I believe, and that'll be half a distance to the goal added on. But we'll see if it's not against Pine Tree. They want to know what it is. Gain of right at 10 yards on the play, give him 9. As the referee and the umpire discuss it, the flag was thrown very late on the play, Brett.
Yeah, I can't read lips.
You tried with binoculars. So it's going to be a personal foul, face mask, as I guesstimated on the tackle, 5 or 6 Tigers there. So it's half a distance to the goal from the 14. It'll be 1st and goal at the 7-ish. And that's exactly where they put it down. And it's 1st and goal for the Pirates again inside the red zone. And they kicked a field goal and had a couple other touchdowns when they've gotten inside the 20-yard line. And, of course, they had 3 big explosive plays today, a 51, 71, and 82 yards. So it's 1st and goal at the 7. Clock runs will be under 3:20 with this snap. 31-14 Pine Tree lead. Try to get it back up to 4 scores here in the ball game. There's a handoff, and inside run down about the 2-yard line. 2-yard line thereabouts is number 25, and that's Tyler Sheffield, the senior back. He's probably closing in on a 100-yard gain as well.
2nd and goal.
So it's 1st and goal from the 3 for Pine Tree, and the clock rolls, and we'll be at about 2:30 before they snap this in the third quarter. very efficient night for the Pirates offensively, and big play, and also just momentum pushing line play tonight. A great game for the offense altogether. There's a delay handoff. Tyler Sheffield trudges forward inside the 2 down to almost the 1, and he stopped there, so it'll be 2nd and goal upcoming for the Pirates.
Sheffield takes it.
Going to mark him at about the 2, actually. So third and goal? Yeah, it's 3rd and 2 now. Last 2 plays have been inside the 7-yard line. I just call DJ Freeman on a rollout, get him in the end zone. Folks, it'd be that simple. Let's get it.
The front line, Salazar and Heath and Connor Carroll, Monk. And they're utilizing the tight end in there with Heath.
There's the handoff. He's going to throw the ball outside. It's caught by Stump at the goal line, and he's in. Touchdown, Pine Tree. Jaden Smith with a reception from DJ Freeman, 2 yards, 3 yards out. And the new score is Pine Tree 37, Mount Pleasant 14 on the swing pass in the flat. DJ Freeman with his 3rd touchdown of the night. And this one's Jaden Smith. Stump makes the catch and gets in the corner of the end zone on the far side. And it is 37-14 with a PAT upcoming from Herbert. That's Jaden Smith's 3rd, I believe his 3rd reception for a touchdown this season. Either 2nd or 3rd. There's the pooch of the PAT by Herbert, and it is good. So with 1:52 remaining in the 3rd quarter, the new score is Pine Tree 38, Mount Pleasant 14. You're listening and watching Pine Tree Pirate Football. We'll return in just a moment. And returning here at Mount Pleasant, DJ Freeman now with 3 touchdown passes on the night, has 17 for the season, and he will elongate his career school passing totals as he leads several categories now in total yardage passing, touchdowns passing. He's right up there, and that tonight is the 3rd of the season. He's 17 passing touchdowns on the season to 2 interceptions now. The ball's fumbled, battle around. Pine Tree picks it up right at the 19-yard line. It should be Pine Tree football, but no, the line judge says he does not get the ball in time before he goes out of bounds. That's just like Tyrese Jones picked it up, and he's in bounds, folks. I don't know what the line judge was looking at.
He was trying to keep his toes inside.
Now, he might have picked it up right as it, well, that could be the only explanation, as the line judge is right on top of the play. And from our vantage point, it looks like it's a recovery for Pine Tree, but he might have been with a foot out along the sideline. Evidently, that is the case. So 1st and 10 for Mount Pleasant at their own 19-yard line in a 38-14 Pine Tree lead. They led 24-7 at the half, now up 38-14. There's a handoff up the middle, getting out wide for a gain of 5 and 10 and more. He picked up about 12 and 13 as he hits the ground out to about the 32-yard line. A 13-yard run on the far sideline for Williams, I believe.
Tripped up by Courtney Stipman.
And we may have another quarterback in the game. Number 12 comes in for Mount Pleasant. They have number 10 most of the game, Baker Peterson. This is Keller Thompson, a junior, 188 in the ball game at quarterback. So we're seeing some backups in the game now for Mount Pleasant in a 38-14 Pine Tree lead. 1st down and 10 from the 32. Passes, the ball's in the air. This should be intercepted, and it is intercepted. Number 19 picks it off for Pine Tree on the deflection. Jeremiah Blinks sees the ball. Dallas Dixon's coming into play, but it bounces in the air beyond him, and it's intercepted. And another turnover, and Pine Tree takes over at about the 42-yard line on the interception from Jeremiah Blinks.
Just an odd night. The interceptions have all come off of tips.
And a touchdown came off a tip, too.
And the ball's gone up in the air, and people paying attention.
One of those odd things, they're going to back it up another yard. What difference does it make? He fell at the 42. They marketed the 43. Anyway, 1st and 10 for Pine Tree at the Mount Pleasant 43-yard line. DJ's coming out for what should be his last possession of the night, but we don't know. He may leave him in a good part of the game and just keep the assault on the Mount Pleasant team. Twins to the far side of the field in the formation for Pine Tree. One back set. We got plenty of time. Throw in the middle. He's got a receiver and catches it, and that is Turner at the 22-yard line. And they mark it to the 23. It's a 20-yard pitch and catch, and we have a hold against Pine Tree. It's coming back. Once again, it's one of those type of things you could throw a flag every single play if you wanted to be an official to be shown and showcase your throwing ability of a flag. But it's a penalty against Pine Tree on the pass play, so this will back it up. It'll become 1st and 20 instead of a 20-yard gain.
Yeah, but here again, that just gives them more room to operate the way they're passing tonight.
True.
So we're right back at it.
That one taking him over 200 yards passing for the game. Has he completed a pass in the second half? The touchdown was a 2-yard pass, so yes, that's the only one I think he's thrown. And they kept the ball on the ground pretty much, so they're at 190 passing and 3 touchdowns through the air. Rolling on the far side, throws. He's got a receiver wide open. He catches it and bumped out of bounds. He tries to stand, but he's out at the 38-yard line.
Keelan Turner with the reception.
It's a 16-yard gain. It'll bring up a second down. Yeah, it's a 14-yard gain. Second down and 6 upcoming for Pine Trees. They get 14 of those back. So they're over 200 yards passing on the night with that reception on the far side of the field for Turner.
Again, we credit the front line. It's given an awful lot of time.
Playing outstanding game up front. We named all the Hogs off several times now. They're having a beautiful game offensively, and DJ is just showing his masterful skills. There's a run up the middle. There goes a touchdown run. Touchdown, 39 yards. And yes, it is a senior, Tyler Sheffield. He's over 100 yards for the night with that long run of 39 yards, and it's 44-14 before the PAT from Herber and company. Pine Tree making it look easy. They're slapping him around, and that's 39-yard gain, and he broke off, and he's 7 or 8 yards in the secondary. Nobody near him as he takes it all the way in for the TD. That is 4 explosive play touchdowns for the Pirates tonight. With 51 seconds left in the third quarter, it's 44-14. Here's the PAT. The holder is Nakima Williams, and the kicker is Brant Herber, who has a 42-yard field goal tonight as well. Snap is good, kick is up, and it is good. So with 51 seconds remaining in the third quarter, the new score is Pine Tree 45, Mount Pleasant 14. You're listening and watching Pine Tree Pirate football on YouTube, but we'll be right back. Pine Tree's big play skill set players tonight have shown out. Tyler Sheffield with that 39-yard run takes him well over 100 yards. He's at about 115. There's a pooch kick near side. It's going to be caught by number 9. He cuts back inside. He's going to be brought down right in his tracks by a couple Pirates. And Brett will name them with the binoculars. I could see a couple white shirts there. There's number 9, and that's Branson.
That's number 9, Lucas Branson.
Lucas Branson there on the tackle, and Nakima Williams as well to back him up, and several other white-clad Pirates with their white helmets and PT insignia, white tops with blue letters and blue pants. This is a winning formula because they beat Marshall in this outfit 24-7. Wore the same duds and the same helmets, and they're looking good tonight with a 45-14 lead with 46 seconds left in the quarter. And run it back inside, try to get outside. Stiff arm, he's going to pick up 5 or 6 yards and be tackled out of bounds. And give him 6 on the game, or 7 to the 36-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 3 upcoming for Mount Pleasant.
48, Mark Daniels Jr. tackle.
He missed the first few games with upper body, upper shoulder injury, and then he's been back the last couple of weeks. He's not real big. Well, he's wide, but he's not real tall. 5'8", about 195, but strong interior lineman with his great skill set up front. And next to him is number 14, the 6'5", 250-pound freshman, Evans. They run outside, run up the middle. He's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage and lost. And there's Dallas Dixon. Blow the whistle, so he'll stop trying to tackle him. He pushed him back 15 yards, and I guess they blew the whistle, but not too late. It's a 2-yard loss. It'll be 3rd and 4 upcoming for Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, he met Sam Williams on the 27. And from there, it was nothing forward. We've got to mention, that touchdown, that's another Lawler jewelry touchdown. Yeah. We want to make sure that the Lawlers hear us say their name. I know they're listening. And also Frank's Auto Sales on the extra point.
That's right. Now, of course, the third quarter ends. Titan Well Services with the sponsor for the quarter, and that is the end of the third quarter. With the score, Pine Tree 45, Mount Pleasant 14. You're listening to Pine Tree Pirate Football. We'll return with the fourth quarter in just a moment. Resuming play as the fourth quarter is about to get underway at the 35-yard line. 3rd down and a long 4 upcoming for Mount Pleasant. They'll be headed left to right or north to south. Here for the fourth quarter as Pine Tree will head right to left or south to north. Here at Sam Parker Field in Mount Pleasant with a score 45-14 starting the fourth quarter. Pine Tree in the lead. Up the middle, nowhere. No, he's going to fake it and roll right. He's going to be brought down with a beautiful open field tackle. That time by Courtney Stitman. Courtney Stitman brings down number 12 in the middle of a play and a nice open field tackle and a loss of 2. And the Pine Tree defense will stop Mount Pleasant on downs. 4th and 7 upcoming, and Mount Pleasant will punt the football.
Maybe.
I don't think they're going to. They would leave their off. They would leave their offense in if they were going to fake it. Let's just be honest. They're punters in the game unless he can throw the ball. You just don't want to give Pine Tree a 30-yard field or less. You make them earn it and back deep. We'll see if Mr. Turner can earn it on a punt return as he adjusts his helmet. He's deep at about the 30-yard line. And they kick it deep. It's a high, beautiful kick. He's going to let it go. It's over his head by 7 or 8 yards on a great bounce. And they're going to stop this ball inside the 5 at the 1.
It's at the 1-foot line.
That's a 67-yard punt. About 45 in the air and 20 to 22 on the roll. Sometimes you got to feel the punt. He let that go and waved it off, and it was 7 or 8 yards over his head. He didn't even attempt to go back to get it. It was a great punt, and Pine Tree will take over at their own 1. And I don't know if I'd bring the backups in with the ball at the 1-yard line just yet. That might have been his plan, but I think you're going to have the first team back out there on offense to start the quarter, at least to get them out of this spot on the field. And is DJ coming out with the first team offense?
That's one of the best punts we've seen all season.
Oh, yeah, that's a 66-yard. That's probably the best with it hits at about the 12 or 13 and rolls the extra 12 yards.
And the best coverage.
And there's, 4 or 5 gold-clad uniform Mount Pleasant Tigers there to stop it just inside the 1. They got to go 99 yards. Hand it up in the middle. He's bounced around. He might have gotten out of the end zone. I don't know. It's going to be close. It's at the 1-foot line. You got to run wide and get out of the shadow. You can't just run little trap plays here and expect big gains, although they've done it several times tonight. We're going to have the ball at the 1 foot line on 2nd and 11 now upcoming for Pine Tree. 45-14, Pirates lead. Clock running at 10:30 and counting left in regulation here in Mount Pleasant. It's been all Pine Tree all the way, and they've led from the beginning at 7-0, then 10-0, then 17-0, then 24-0, and then Mount Pleasant finally scored. See if DJ calls his own number. He fakes it, falls down, and there's a safety. DJ never gets rid of the ball, and that was no man's land. And a beautiful punt helps award Mount Pleasant with the safety as their defense makes the stop, and it's 45-16 with 10:09 left. Now Pine Tree will have to punt the ball away or deep kick it from about their own 20-yard line.
Well, he pulled the ball back. He was going to run right with it, and he made the turn, but got a little tangled up with his own legs and went down.
About 5 yards deep in the end zone.
Right in the middle of the G.
Right in the middle of the G, in the middle of the end zone. It's tough to call plays out of there, but you've got to get around the edges if you're going to try to run or bust one up the middle, a quarterback sneak it. They ran a trap play on the first play that went for about a half-yard loss, and then that one, just disruption, and good give credit to the Mount Pleasant defense, too, to get those 2 points. It's 45-16 with 10:09 remaining in regulation. Pine Tree will kick it from their own 20-yard line or punt it from there once they decide to break huddle. And the defense will be back on the field here momentarily. Let's see if Mr. Herbert, he's going to lay it on he's going to kick it off a tee, so he's going to try to boom this ball and flip the field, if you will, instead of just punting it. He needs to kick it as hard and as deep as he possibly can, overkick the coverage. So it's 45-16, 10:09 remaining, a safety for Mount Pleasant. They now have a touchdown and a safety in the second half. And Pine Tree has scored 3 touchdowns in the second half, leading now 45-16.
That's the first safety in Pine Tree in quite a while.
Quite a while. It hadn't happened this season or last season that I can recall, so it's been quite a while. And he's going to pooch it. Understand, they'd call fair catch at the 49 and make it. Okay, pooch it kick, and they have the ball in Pine Tree territory where Mount Pleasant will take over there. With 10:09 remaining in the ball game in regulation. And the pooch kick is fair caught at the 48-yard line. Pine Tree's on 48, so a 28-yard kickoff. And the exercise of the pooch, which is pretty much all Pine Tree does, except for maybe an onside try. There are times where you have to tell your kicker to kick it as far and deep as he can. Just my opinion. But that wasn't one of them. Trips to the near side of the field for Mount Pleasant. Rolling right, number 10 in the game. He pump fakes it. He's going to be sacked after he had to tuck the ball and a loss of about 4. Ball loose. Pine Tree's got it. Number 64, Grant Calloway, comes up with a football. It's another turnover. The third one of the ball game that I can recall for Mount Pleasant. And they have a player down. It may be their quarterback. I'm not quite sure, but Pine Tree will take over at the 48, at the Mount Pleasant 48-yard line after the sack and fumble. And that's the third turnover of the ball game against Mount Pleasant.
That's number 10.
So he pump fakes, decides to tuck it and run, and then it's a coverage sack basically as Pine Tree's defensive front gets to him. They knock the ball loose, and Grant Calloway, number 64, comes up with a turnover. And let's see if we see the backups come in the game now. Still 10 minutes left in a 4-score game, basically, at 29-point lead. And player down, and we'll take matter of fact, we'll take a quick 30-second. No, he's coming off the field now, so we'll just stay here with it. Get him off the field, and I think he just had the air knocked out of him, and he's walking out on his own power. Is Peterson. So Peterson, the quarterback in that time. Where's number 10? They've rotated another quarterback in the game, number 12, who is Keller Thompson. That's Baker Peterson, and he'll come off the field. He's a senior. And Pine Tree will take over at the 49-yard line, at the Mount Pleasant 49-yard line after the sack and fumble. So that's 2 fumbles and an interception in the ball game for Pine Tree's defense. And they have the 1 turnover earlier in the ball game. Pine Tree comes in with a +6 on the year, and now that should go up to a +8 on turnover ratio. And DJ's back in the game, so is the first team offense still out there. There's a snap, and they hand off up the middle. Going to get a couple of yards up the middle to I believe that's Sheffield. You know, we haven't seen Ethan Morgan now the last 2 weeks. We didn't see him last week at home.
Well, I believe that is number
That might have been
22
him right there.
Ethan Morgan, it is.
His
22.
first carry of the ball game. He didn't play last week for whatever reason, but he's back out there tonight with his first carry of the ball game, as Tyler Sheffield may have seen his last carry of the night on that 39-yarder. Anyway, he's well over 100 yards on the night, around the 125-yard mark. DJ's just over 100 yards, about 110. Just guesstimations, but that's where they both are. Here's a handoff again. They up the middle. Here's a flag right in the middle of the scrum, and we're going to have a delay. We're going to have probably a false start against Pine Tree. As they blew the whistle dead during the play as it started.
There is a flag on the play.
The 2nd and 9 play is going to be at the 2nd and 14, I believe.
There's a lot of movement.
It's a false start.
False start against the Pirates.
So 2nd down and 14. Clock stopped at 9:21 remaining in regulation of a 45-16 Pine Tree lead. Never know. This could be the last possession of the game for the starters, DJ Freeman and company, and we already see the backup in the ball game. That's Ethan Morgan, number 22, who has well over 500 yards rushing in the year as well. So Pine Tree has 3 backs with 600 or thereabouts yards rushing on the season. Rolling right side pass, throw. It's caught. It dropped. Hits his hand. It falls out. That's Elijah Hall, number 12, on the far side. So it'll be 3rd down and 14 upcoming for Pine Tree's offense.
Good timing on both ends. Allowed them to park the ball to hit him to force the ball out for the incompletion.
Incompletion. So here we go with a 3rd down 14 play. Let's see if DJ calls his own number and rolls out with a rush, because he's had nice big gainers tonight when he's done that. 51-yard run and then a 13-yard TD run as well, and a couple other scampers for more than 10 yards for the senior quarterback for Pine Tree. Hands it off late. It's going to be Ethan Morgan picking up to near midfield, and he's finally wrestled down to 49, gain of 3. So it'll be 4th down upcoming for Pine Tree. They just seem content to run the ball, run clock, and get on out of here with a big win. 45-16 lead clock runs, and we'll be at about 8:30 or 8:20 with this snap. And I imagine they'll pitch it down the field and punt it.
With the tackle.
Look for them to do so right here on the line, waiting for a play to call. When it's 4th and 10, but you never know, they may go for it. Terry at this point really need to get guys in the game, and they're going to punt it. They can't make a decision. They're going to rush off the field. A little confusion here. You might as well use a timeout. And it's down to 4, and I believe that's what he's going to do, and call it right at 2 seconds, and he does. So they'll call a timeout here and talk about it. At this point, punt wouldn't be a bad idea, just to get the ball and flip the field and make them come out of their own end of the field, since really the only issue tonight with that was the prior possession where they got the safety taking over their own 1 foot line and not being able to do it. So right here, 8:15 remains in regulation. Pine Tree 45, Mount Pleasant 16. And the ball's going to be at the Pine Tree 49-yard line.
With this 4th quarter is brought to you by Longview Orthopedic Clinic Association of Hawkins.
Good idea. We got to call them and give all the credit to our sponsors here. They're the 4th quarter. They're on the 4th quarter. Of course, extra point. There's been a bunch of those tonight. So Frank Auto Sales on Highway 80 in Gregton. Old Longview, old Gregton. The early 60s. The name change. Longview annexed the Pine Tree, Gregton area into the city of Longview. I want to say it was 1960 or 61. And then Longview annexed Judson in the mid-60s, and then Spring Hill in 1983. And so that's how Longview is sprawled to the northwest over the many years. In my lifetime, in my young 56 and a half years. Just a baby. Be 57 in January. And I was born and raised in Longview, Texas, so know it well. Unlike the other two in the booth, they're not from Longview. They're not natives. You're from a big city.
Next door to Pasadena.
They're going to punt it down the field. It's caught in the air by a receiver. The ball didn't go over his head. It was looking like it was headed down inside the 20, but he fields it at about the 29 or 30-yard line. And the low kick is actually fielded and returned by defensive back that time for Mount Pleasant, and a pickup of about 3 yards on the return, so they'll take it over at their own 34-yard line in a 45-16 lead for Pine Tree with 8 minutes and 9 seconds remaining.
That's number 6, Lane Pinkard. Like a reception there. Looked more like a reception.
Yeah, that's a coach's son, I do believe. Richie Pinkard is their head coach. got to be a relation, you would think. It would be too ironical if a local kid from Mount Pleasant had the same name as their coach. There's a slant, 7-yard slant like they scored on early in the game. Picks up about 11 yards on the pitch and catch. That time, Miller McCumbee, number 1, and number 12, Keller Thompson, in the ball game at quarterback. A pickup of 11 and a first down for Mount Pleasant. Clock runs, we're under 7:50 with this snap. Pine Tree's got, looks like some new players in on the field to play defense. We'll get some new numbers here from Ken. Rolling near side on the rush, cut back inside, a gain of about 2. So it'll be 2nd and 8 upcoming from Mount Pleasant. As Pine Tree has different people in there. Lucas Branson's in the game. I see him out there. Number 9, of course, number 40 at linebacker is one of the starters, and Ryan Livingston. Hercules Tarver, number 11 in the game.
46-yard line, 2nd down.
Daniels Jr.'s in the game, number 48. Number 33, Turner's in the game. Along with
Fisher in there, number 11. Number 33. 33's in.
On the outside, Ed Wilder's got a crease. He's got 10. He's got 15 and rushed out of bounds after about a 14-yard gain. Into Pine Tree territory goes Ed Wilder. He's been a bit of a spark plug for them running the football tonight. They've used 3 or 4 backs and the 2 different quarterbacks.
Cody Honors in. We haven't called his name in a while. It's good to see him in the game. And Lex is glad to see his son out there.
Mount Pleasant's going to have one more game against, I believe, they play Jacksonville next week. As their season will end on the road. Outside, there's Wilder. He's got 5. He's got 10. He's at the 30 and balled out of bounds there by Nakima Williams at the 30. Nakima Williams playing some defense. Number 8.
Wilder to the 30-yard line.
So a pickup of about 14 yards by Wilder on that
Number
one.
8, Nakima Williams with the tackle.
I think that's who they play next week. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. They're fixing to drop to 1-5. With this loss, Pine Tree should go to 5-1. Clock stopped at 6:59. Ball at the 30-yard line. A first down and 10 for Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, they're at Jacksonville.
They're at Jacksonville next week to end the season on Friday the 4th. There he bounces forward and is brought down very quickly by big number 48, Mark Daniels Jr. with a stop up the middle and no gain for the running back that time.
Taylor Jones, no gain on the play.
Of course, the game was most notable mention next week will be Marshall Nacogdoches.
Nacogdoches at
Marshall
Marshall.
playing for 5th place.
They'll be playing for 4th place, not 5th place. The winner of that game will be a playoff entrant, and they'll have to go and travel to Huntsville. That'll be their reward. There's a pitch and catch. Number 11 that time at 20 picks up a first down. And 10-yard gain. Clock will stop as they move the change with 6:20 remaining. 45-16 Pine Tree leads here late in the 4th quarter. 6 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in regulation. The Pirates have scored several big run play to start the game from DJ Freeman. The 2 straight passing plays of over 70 yards, 71-82, and then there's a false start. And there's a flag. 13 step and move forward. Without running side to side, it's a false start, so that's their 4th or 5th false start of the evening, and bring that back to the 25-yard line.
Well, you know, we had those conversations about who was going to be 4th and who was going to be 5th.
The winner of that game is going to be your 4th place
team. And so Marshall's in the mix, so we just didn't expect it to be Nacogdoches there.
But they had several big wins, and then they got a big forfeit win last week against Hallsville as well. They had a couple big wins on the road. Here's one of them they had. There's a dive play up the middle, pick up about 6 or 7 yards off the left tackle, and it'll be 2nd down and, say, 7 from the 17-yard line. They got to get down to the 10 for a first down. Clock running at 5:40 and counting here in the ball game in regulation. 45-16 Pine Tree up over Mount Pleasant.
Number 14, Dalen Evans on the tackle, along with his double, number 28, Nathaniel Sanchez.
Twins to the far side of the field, one wide receiver near side. They're going to throw left all the way, throws it. It's going to be intercepted. Pine Tree with an interception running up the field. He's hit hard. It almost threw it right at him. I can't tell who made the pick, but that's 4 turnovers now. The Pine Tree defense has helped Mount Pleasant cough up on the evening. Nakima Williams with a pick at about the 11-yard line, brings it up to the 16-yard line. That's 4 turnovers now against Mount Pleasant and 3 here in the second half.
The ball went high. read it perfectly.
It threw it right at it. The receiver missed the ball. It might have been right behind the intended receiver, actually, which is number 11, Brown, on a slant. And back at safety, number 8 just steps there and makes really a little slide step to his right and hit him right in the numbers. Probably the best pass he's seen all night, except for the deflection that he scored on 71-yard pass and catch. That's it.
That's the first interception that hasn't been tipped up in the air.
DJ's back in the game, and looks like Ethan Morgan is next to him at the 16-yard line. He hands it off. He does. It's inside for about a yard gain to Morgan, I believe. Actually, that's a different quarterback in the game. That's not 13. It's not 5. Is that 16 in the ball game, the quarterback?
Yeah, that may be.
That's
Gain of about 1 yard
let's see
on the
here.
play.
the younger brother. We got Derek Williams. That's not. It is Derek Williams at quarterback. 5'8", 150 freshman.
He's been the main quarterback for the freshman team also.
They got him at quarterback now instead of Hunter Gleason, who's been the backup most of the year. It's a freshman in the game. Williams takes the handoff, runs near side. He's going to be swamped under by a couple of different, 3 or 4 different goals. There's a flag on the play. This could be offsides because the play was allowed to resume beyond the flag. Mount Pleasant might have been lined up offside, but we'll see. It was a 2nd and 9 play. You see the flag. It was thrown right at the snap. They're asking Mount Pleasant to decline it, so Pine Tree had an illegal shift or a false start. The play was allowed to resume anyway. It was a loss of a couple of yards. So we got a freshman in at quarterback getting his first snaps as a varsity player, Derek Williams. Number 16 in the ball game.
Been a good quarterback for the freshman team. They have 2 kids that play quarterback in the 9th grade team. Both of them play very well.
He's listed at 5'8", 150, just a tad smaller than DJ. Probably DJ's size as a freshman.
He has good speed. He's got a good arm. He can read plays pretty well.
He's going to take a snap again on 2nd down and 15 from the, looks like the 12-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Not going to get much there, maybe a yard or 2. Pine Tree just looking to run out the clock, get back on the bus and head home with a big win on the road. And they're trying to burn clock. They're showing 4th down, but there's no way it's 4th down. It's just got to be 3rd down and coming. You don't lose a down on the illegal shift. But it's got to be 3rd and long instead of 4th. Flag guys, they'll be punting the ball, but it was really 4th down, let's be honest. It's 3rd down and 16 from the 11. The chain gang has it at 4th down. Scoreboard now has it at 4th down. 1, 2, 3. I guess that has been 3 plays. Punt the football, call timeout, and they're going to get the special teams on. You make a decision just to kick the football.
Timeout, Pine Tree.
Pine Tree will call timeout there at 4th and 11. I guess they allowed a play to go, and they kept.
That's just 3rd down on the penalty.
I'm just a head scratcher right here. Pine Tree's going to let it roll down. No, but they had a penalty on a play. You don't lose a down on a penalty unless it's that type of penalty that it's called for. So the officials missed it, and or the chain gang has missed it. It should be 3rd and 15 instead of 4th and 15 because they only ran 3 plays. I'm not going to try to figure officials. I don't know. I've officiated baseball in my life, umping, but I've never called a game on the field, and it's got to be a tough task sometimes to do. The official, there ought to be 2 officials keeping up with downs. And I don't see how you lose a down on a penalty. Because they did, clearly. Unless it was declined. They're still discussing it. I don't think they even know what's going on.
There was a motion penalty that was declined.
Okay, that has to be.
That's why it was. Yeah. So those of you at home watching the game, you can move the clock back on your YouTube and you can look at replays.
That's right.
Which is what we're doing.
That's your instant replay. It's the only instant replay we have in high school football. It's for our own vantage point of the stream that we have to view. So here we go. DJ's in the ball game to punt from near the goal line, from the 11-yard line. 3:53 remains, and he always turns right and kicks it low and to the right. Going to get a good Pine Tree bounce. It's going to roll almost to midfield and out of bounds at the 47. So that's a 36-yard punt with no return for DJ Freeman. And we'll see if they mark it at where it went out of bounds. Where it went out of bounds at the 47. They're going to mark it at the 46. Okay. 1st and 10 for Mount Pleasant from the Pine Tree 46. 3:45 remains in regulation. Pine Tree on top 45-16. They've been on top from the get-go at 7-0, 10-0, 17-0, 24-0, and then 24-7 at the half. And really, they've just pulled away and not looked back with their explosive plays and tough defensive play tonight. They run the student body right, pick up a couple 3 yards, still pushing, blow the whistle, helmets falling off. This is how you get fights started when officials aren't blowing the whistle to stop a play that's been stopped.
Jalen Williams with the carry.
Yeah, maybe, nah, I don't know. He kept running, and about 7 Pirates on top of him. His helmet probably flew off, and then he just went ahead and dropped the football, as he couldn't hear a whistle, and we could barely hear it up here. So it's a gain of 3. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 from the 43-yard line. Clock rolls. We'll roll under 3 minutes left in regulation. And Pine Tree's 45-16 lead here in Mount Pleasant. Pine Tree with a 4-3 front look. There's a handoff. Number 3 gets it left. He's got an open field. Dashes forward, bouncing off 4 or 5 Pine Tree Pirates. And he's going to pick up about 13 yards on the play down to the 30. 12 yards given and a 1st down. Clock runs at 2:48 and counting here in regulation. Pine Tree get a stop here and end the ball game. Mount Pleasant's going to try to score again before it's over with. They've only had 2 touchdowns tonight and then a safety. And a great punt that placed Pine Tree deep at their own 1-yard line. Dancing around, tries to get Fry. Williams catch him first. He rides along for 4 or 5 other Pirates. Finally fall on him. Pickup of about 8 yards. Be 2nd and 2 upcoming. 2nd and 1, actually. Gain of 9.
9-yard gain on the
So eating
play.
up huge chunks of yards. Number 3 and 4 at running back doing this. Number 3,
Just another reminder.
that play on the rush.
If you are attending tonight's
It's
game,
Cale Jones. Number 4 a minute ago was Yari Hudson. Jalen Williams that lost his helmet.
Number 23, Cameron Benefield in the game. He made the tackle for
Pine
initial
Tree.
hit.
There's delay, running right side. He's got the 15, he's got the 10, he's got the 5, and he's going to score. Diving in, touchdown. Touchdown, Mount Pleasant. Looked pretty easy for Williams, and he scores from, looks like 17 yards out. 18 yards out, touchdown, Mount Pleasant. The PAT pending with a 45-22 lead. Pine Tree up. 150 remains in regulation.
We also have Jadalyn Jones in, number 80, brought up this week.
Several players getting their first varsity look. PAT upcoming. 45-22 with 150 left. This will make it 45-23. They don't have enough men on the field. This is the 2nd time tonight on a PAT or extra point try that number 60 has not hit the field with the rest of his teammates. Of course, the season's dwindling down, but mental mistakes like this, are a microcosm of why teams aren't successful. And you come over for a PAT and you're missing a lineman, it's pretty noticeable when that void is left empty. Anyway, they're on to try the extra point, trailing now 45-22 in this one.
And we are the sole game being played, district tonight.
Everybody else played this afternoon, early evening. Texas High goes to 9-0 in the year and 6-0 in district play with a hard-fought 21-17 win at Dragonland Stadium in Nacogdoches. And then, of course, White House has rebounded from their loss for Pine Tree as they put a little 42-14 whooping on the Engines. I guess that game was in Jacksonville. Could have been a White House. Either way, snap is good, kick is up, and it is a line drive through the uprights. And your new score with 150 remaining in regulation, Pine Tree 45, Mount Pleasant 23. You're listening to Pine Tree Pirate Football. We'll be back with the end of this ball game in a few moments. Mount Pleasant has scored their third touchdown of the game. Compared to Pine Tree 6, it's not going to get them there, and they get a safety as well. But it's 45-23. Pine Tree leads here in Mount Pleasant, trying to wrap it up. And here's the kickoff. It's high and deep. That's what you do after a safety. Hello. Okay. He kicks it deep and through the end zone. There's the Mount Pleasant kicker, and Pine Tree will take over at their own 25-yard line with 150 remaining and a big 45-23 win. 4 explosive plays in this one. DJ Freeman, 51-yard run. Deflected pass, completion for a touchdown to Nakima Williams for 71. Then a big old home run pitch and catch from DJ Freeman to Turner. And then the last touchdown with explosive play was a 39-yard run for Tyler Sheffield. So 4 big plays of 51, 71, 82, and 39. And Pine Tree's got about 440. They're going to take victory formation. They have well over 400 yards of offense. They're going to snap it right back to him, and he's covered up by a couple players. And I think it's DJ, and it is. So he'll take the knee, and they'll have probably 2 more plays. Everybody has all their timeouts left, but there's really absolutely no sense in calling timeouts here, as Pine Tree has won this game. We got a penalty, though. That's not a penalty. It's just a snap back of 5 yards on the loss. My bad. So it'll be 2nd and 15 on victory formation. And he's got 15 seconds now left on the play clock. Snap it and get him out there at about 10, and then snap it with about 2 seconds left. And they can run 2 more plays like this to just about get them there. And take another 5-yard loss, but a snap and down. And the new play clock starts. There's a 20-second difference on the play clock and the game clock, pardon me. So it'll be 3rd down and 20. As Pine Tree's trying to burn this last minute. It's under a minute now left to play. And a 45-23 lead and looking like a 45-23 victory for the Pine Tree Pirates. Their first season, you've got to go back to 1983 since Pine Tree last won 7 games in a season. They went 7-2-2 in the 1983 season. It has been 37 years since they won 7 games in a season. Win next week, it'll be the first time since 1977 they've won more than 8 games or more. And that'll do it. That is the last play of the ball game, and the game will end with Pine Tree winning here in Mount Pleasant with the final score, 45-23 over the Mount Pleasant Tigers. As we have the countdown down to 10 seconds, and the last play of the game has been rendered, and the ball game is final. Pine Tree stays at 2nd place in district play with a 5-1 record, and a big win here on the road by the score of 45-23. You've been listening to Pine Tree Pirate Football. We'll stay over for a little bit, obviously. We talked about next week's potential matchup with Hallsville at home, and as well more about this game too. And of course, Terry Lane will be up here in the next 10 to 12 minutes with our post-game conversation with him. Once again, the final from Mount Pleasant, Pine Tree 45, Mount Pleasant 23. You've been listening to Pine Tree Pirate Football on YouTube, and we'll stay right here. Actually, we'll take a couple-minute break to get some more sponsor time in with Larry behind me, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. 45-23, Pine Tree has defeated Mount Pleasant.
Your brand is our business.
You bring it, we'll brand it. I'm Riley Johnny, and I approve this message.
back here at Mount Pleasant, and I've got some reverberation really bad. I'm going to take my headset off to where I don't hear myself talk. And senior night, and the Pine Tree Pirates have taken it to the Mount Pleasant Tigers here in Mount Pleasant at Sam Parker Field by the score of 45-23. And we'll look for Coach Lane up here in just a few minutes to discuss this one. And the Pirates get a big win on the road before their last regularly scheduled game next week at home against Hallsville. And we'll see if that one is planned and scheduled to play next Friday night on the 4th. Pine Tree family, once again with that young man losing his life last weekend. So we're waiting for Coach Lane, and there we go again. I've got to remove this right side because I can hear myself talk, and it's called feedback, I guess, in vernacular terms, but didn't have this during the game, but afterwards, it's probably with the unhooking of everything that we have up here, but we still need to stay on there just another 10 to 12 minutes or so. The clock has disappeared. I can look at my own watch. It's 10:24. Normally, he's up here right about this time, about 20 after. And last week, he was running just a tad late. And this week, got to find another way to get up here upstairs, which is one elevator, and there's steps up in the stands. So Coach Lane will be here in a moment. But his offense does the job with a great efficiency and big plays, back-to-back weekends that they've had at least 3 or 4 explosive plays in a ball game. And tonight, once again, happens again. And we can look ahead, to a potential playoff matchup. Pine Tree should be the number 2 seed from 9-5A Division II, and they'll play 10-5A. And as of this ball game tonight, A&M Consolidated was the third-place team. However, tonight in that district, Huntsville was playing Montgomery for 1 and 2, and Montgomery has defeated A&M Consolidated, as has Huntsville. So those two teams, barring two straight losses by one of them, they're going to be first and second in that district, Montgomery and Huntsville. Number 3 team in that district is A&M Consolidated. And number 4 team in that district, I'm just guessing, I think it's Lake Ridge of Conroe. Actually, the Lake Ridge of Montgomery. It's a nice little subdivision there off the lake in Montgomery, near Lake Conroe. And so that's the 4th place team at present. The projection has them going to play Texarkana, Texas High and Texarkana. Pine Tree hosting A&M Consolidated. And then the 3rd place team from this district, White House, having to go on the road and playing against the number 2 seed from that district, probably Montgomery, and they'll have to go on the road. And then the winner of next week's Nacogdoches Marshall game will play Huntsville in Huntsville. And this is all by district conjecture for 2 weeks from this weekend, which is the weekend of the 11th and 12th of December. Of course, everything's set back 5 weeks for us in 5A and 6A, and so that's why we play the 9th game of the year during the holiday week of Thanksgiving. And here's Coach Lane here just a moment, and he'll have a seat with us, and we'll have a little talk with him. Take a deep breath. We'll let you sit down for a minute, Kerry, and catch your breath. You got Hayden Henry to see, too, I think. You got Hayden Henry up here somewhere to see. Yeah, he covered the game for the News Journal. He's down the way, but we'll make you in and out real quick so you can talk to him as well, because he that's fine. He's here. He carried the game tonight. He did the Lobo game at 2 o'clock in Longview. Hightailed it up here and broadcasted the game tonight. Was what Hayden Henry of the Longview News Journal carried this one for us tonight as well too. Coach Lane. Big win. Your team gets off to a great start, has huge plays, has 4 explosive plays on the night, 2 rushing, 2 passing. You couldn't have drawn it up any better to get players into space and just blow big plays up against this team that really wasn't ready for this knockout punch.
Yeah, we hit some balls. I still don't think we're throwing and catching as well as I would like us to, but we did hit some early, which was good because it's tough sledding in there. They're big up front on defense.
They are, indeed. You break the first big play of the game. Actually, your second offensive play, DJ takes a design run up the middle and had great blocking straight up the middle and went straight up the gut for 51. And then the deflection on one of your next possessions, Keelan Turner reaches up for a ball, it deflects off his hands, and about 5 yards behind him is Nakima Williams, takes it in the air with great focus and goes down the sideline for a 71-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, it's not the way we drew that one up. It was
it
good.
Looked like it was.
Fortunate that a kid made a play when another kid didn't. So.
And then your home run pitch and catch there in the second quarter, straight down the field. DJ throws it about 50 yards in the air. Keelan runs underneath it at about the 40 and is nobody near him to score.
Yeah.
So these are the big explosive plays that you have. But you also, on defensively, I counted 4 turnovers against Mount Pleasant on the evening, and that 2 or 3 in a row in the second half, where your defense made plays, had an interception in the end zone, and caused a couple of fumbles. And really, any chance they had coming back, they were being stopped by a good defensive pressure and being able to stop them with big plays on defense.
Yeah, their offensive skill kids are really, really good, and so we work on taking the ball away every week. But this week we knew it was going to be really important.
Yeah, well, your team was able to do that and come on the road and win against a team on their senior night, making big plays offensively. You had a few moments where you weren't really making the plays you needed to, but on the whole, you have to feel good about the explosiveness of your offense.
Yeah. At halftime, that's kind of what I told the kids. I said, guys, we're in a couple situations where we're just not executing, and the plays are there. We just didn't make them, and we didn't throw and catch. I thought we blocked them well just because of how big they are, and everybody struggled to block them all year. But I thought we blocked them well. I thought Chef ran well. DJ pulling it when he needs to pull it and doing some stuff. It's just when they're going to load the box and they're that big in there, we've got to be able to throw and catch a little bit better. And we did. We responded, and that's what I told them. It ain't going to be anything new. We ain't drawing up no new plays. Just go execute. And we did a little bit better.
Well, your offense was so good offensively. You have 2 runners over 100 yards in the game. Sheffield with about 153 rushing, DJ with 125 on the ground, and then DJ throws for well over 200. You have 200 yards. You have almost 500 yards of offense tonight.
Yeah, I think we were a little over 300 at half.
Yeah,
one of our
340.
coaches that does the
340.
stats said we'd run 32 plays for about 330 some yards or whatever. So that's good. When you're moving the ball like that, it's good. You'd like to score a few more points, but it's just execution. You got to execute.
Okay, and well, this game is over, a big win on the road. Now you go back home for one final game, a senior night game kind of deal next week. And I asked you before the game about Hallsville's situation, if we're going to see that game next week, or if you even know just yet.
Yeah, from everything I've heard from their camp is that we are going to play. They're going to play. They're coming off of having to forfeit a few games over some COVID issues. Yeah, 3 of them. And then a Thanksgiving break. So I don't know what their situation will look like when they get their kids back on Monday. But the word that they've given me last week was that we are going to play.
They'll come and make their last game of the year for their seniors and their fans,
Yeah.
since they haven't played since the end of October.
Yeah, they've been off 3 weeks.
They had matter of fact, what took so long tonight was that Mount Pleasant had to do their senior night and their homecoming, because 2 weeks ago Hallsville had the game forfeited up here, which was supposed to be their homecoming.
Yep.
So that's why we had a 30-minute pregame of all their stuff and then a long halftime as well. And you want to get that for your kids, because you play the season, and it's amazing that the season has gone on anyway. Let's be honest.
It is, and I'm glad that every school is working hard to get these kids as much normal as they can. That's what we do it for, is for kids, and everybody, every coach that I know is in it for that reason. And so I know it's been a crazy year, but every school that I can tell has worked really hard to make sure their kids get a good experience.
Okay, this is the first year since 1983, before you were ever born, that Pine Tree has won 7 games in a season.
Really?
The 1983 team was the last Pine Tree team to win 7 games in a season.
Well, there you go.
You were in your mother's womb.
An 83, yeah, I'm an 84 model.
You're an 84 model.
Yep.
So you were being cooked in the tummy.
That's
The
it.
last time Pine Tree won 7 games in a season, 1983. Should they win next week, it'll be the first time since 1977 that Pine Tree's won 8 games in a season.
Oh, good.
Which was a 9-1 team that didn't make the playoffs in those days, because only one team went.
Yep.
They finished in a 3-way tie, I believe, with Henderson and somebody like that in the district they were in.
That was in the Winland Knowles days,
That was
right?
Dan Graham. Winland
Oh,
Knowles
man, I
was
can't
at
believe
Pine
I
Tree
messed up on Coach Graham.
From 56 to 71, Knowles was the head coach, and Graham was there all during the 70s until that season was his last one, the 77 season. And then
Well, he's a legend.
And Maurice Cook came and took over for him, and he was a basketball coach at Longview in the 60s,
Really?
Maurice Cook. Yeah, Coach Cook's been around. You know him well.
I love
He's been
Coach
around
Cook.
forever, and he was there 7-8 years before Clint Humphreys took over after him. But Pine Tree is doing some great things, history-breaking things, Coach, and it's your team that's doing it. And it's the kind of thing you looked at a couple of years ago and could see with the type of talent that you had, especially with your sophomores at the time to be seniors. You knew what you were cooking up then.
Yeah, that year when all these kids were sophomores, we lost 3 games by a combined 7 points, and we were right there, and we just couldn't get it done. We kept finding a way to lose instead of finding a way to win. So I'm really happy for these kids. I mean, we coach them hard. We ask a lot out of them. There's a lot of good football players on this team that don't get to play as much because we're good, and so I'm proud of the kids. I really am. I'm happy for our kids. They've absolutely earned it.
Well, y'all have done a great job, Coach, and much congratulations to you and your staff for another great year. You're now 7-1-1 on the season, and barring any unforeseen thing next week, whether it winds up being a forfeit or not, we'll know by Monday or Tuesday whether we're going to be on the air again next Friday. Tentatively, right now, it looks like it's a go.
Yeah.
And then you'll have non-district play, district by district play that you'll host a game too. And right now, it looks like old AMC Consolidated could be your opponent. We mentioned that last week. They're number 3 in that district. Huntsville's playing Montgomery for the district championship tonight. We didn't get a score on that one yet, but they're 1-2, and both of them have defeated Consolidated. So it looks like you're going to host a playoff game in 2 weekends, and it looks tentatively right now against the guys you played at last year where you went and played with them for 3 full quarters.
Well, good. We had to drive all the way down there last year. They could make the haul this year.
Y'all started at 6 o'clock on them that game instead of 7. No, you'll do the 7 o'clock turnaround. Turnabout's fair play. But congratulations again, and once again, a big win on the road, and you'll have your last big home game next week in the regulation against Hallsville.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you,
once
sir.
again, that's all from here. We're going to say goodnight again. Once again, the final, Pine Tree 45, Mount Pleasant 23. You've been listening to Pine Tree Power Football for Brett Conway and Larry Mahan. I'm Randy Johnson saying so long till next week. And right now it looks like Hallsville will play at Pine Tree until further notice next Friday night on the 4th. Thanks again, everybody, and have a great weekend. And we'll talk to you again, if not next week, for sure, in 2 weeks with a home playoff game. Good night, everybody.